Oh wait, am I doing the summary for this book?
Yes.
Oh boy. I read this book like 3 weeks ago and don't remember that much, but I did write down, so we'll see how it goes. Welcome to the Book Club Animorphs podcast, an Animorphs podcast book club.
Animorphs Book Club podcast.
Remember this name, and welcome to the thing.
Someday we're going to make a podcast club.
Yeah.
Yes. A podcast book club where we read books about podcasts.
And Animorphs book... Wait.
A podcast.
And Animorphs... Review
An Animorphs podcast book club.
Because we're listening to podcasts.
We listen to Animorphs podcasts.
Well,
you're right.
Yeah, an Animorphs podcast. I'm trying to think of what other fourth word could go in there, because that doesn't sound right.
I forgot that we ironically wanted to do that.
For those who are keeping track of Stur's distractions throughout each episode, as the episodes go on, I mean, currently he's obsessed with Garfield Kart Furious Racing. He's been playing that all day. And
Mr. 3 plays Garfield Kart Furious Racing.
While recording. What's that? Oh, you have the book?
Today we read I'm Be Natural.
I'm better.
I didn't read that, but...
Wait, start over.
I'm Be Natural.
I'm better.
I'm Mustard.
I'm Stir.
Today we read, several weeks ago we read book 34, The Prophecy, which is a JoJo reference, apparently.
Huh?
It's just Stir kept putting in the chat. Oh, maybe JoJo reference. I have no idea what he's talking about.
The Stream Chamber chat.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What contraband loads charging?
And he wasn't really using it as the Scream Chamber because he kept saying that several weeks after he'd read the book. So I guess the book was just haunting him.
Okay, let's do the book summary and then get to talking about it. All
right. Chapter 1.
Did we say we read book 34 already?
Yes. The Prophecy.
Just making sure that the Switch is charging so we can continue playing Garfield Kart.
Prophecy. Cassie makes Rachel help her retrieve a drawing that she accidentally turned into her teacher with her test at the teacher's house. Okay, that's...
Turned in
as in...
Okay, I was like, what? I don't remember a teacher turning into
in this story, we have to specify what we mean by the phrase turn in. Okay, so Cassie, What?
We have to specify medications, you have to specify turning in.
No, we're specifying in the podcast. This wasn't in the book.
I know.
Oh, okay.
So Cassie...
You specify meds too.
So Cassie...
Real life.
You're right. So Cassie, made a drawing of, a baby Cupid, talking about how much it loves Jake or something like that, on her homework.
There's a big heart that said, I love Jake on it or something.
Yeah, just something that, high schoolers are just drawing all the time in daily life, I guess. I wouldn't know.
She's in middle school.
Okay, sure, that makes...
You didn't have a crush on a boy in middle school?
I guess I would have never known. But anyway, she did that, and then she, turned it into her teacher, with her test, but it wasn't actually on her test.
It wasn't?
Well, because she,
took it home.
Took it back. She took it home.
It was a piece of notebook paper that was, she had...
Summary stuff.
All right, this is not relevant. When she was more willing to...
They sneak into the house. That's chapter 1. Jared...
Wait, you don't even say... Okay, hang on. You brought that all up and didn't talk about the actual, events that happened?
Wait, what happened?
Because what happened is she snuck into the teacher's, office and then took it back.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, she said
No, you did?
Said, yeah.
Yes.
You are just getting so righteously angry over nothing.
You just said, so they go in there and then you just gotta continue.
No, she said they go in there to do that.
It doesn't matter whether or not they get it back.
You shouldn't have even mentioned this.
Yeah, you shouldn't have mentioned it. All the pipes are flowing.
They're mad.
The house is mad at you too.
Jerahami shows up at Cassie's barn and he says the Arn from the Hork-Bajir Chronicles have showed up at the Hork-Bajir Valley. It turns out that the Arn that showed up is just one guy named Quafajanivvan, who is from the Hork-Bajir Chronicles. And he's here. He's the last of his kind. Everyone else is dead. Quafajanivvan says, huh. And then the Animorphs are all like, kill yourself. And then he says that Aldrea and Dak made a big ship full of weapons and bombs. And
Aldrea and Dak are also from Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
Yeah, and hid it somewhere on the Hork-Bajir planet. They hid the bombs without telling anyone where, and no one found it. Luckily, Quaff has Aldrea's stored personality. So they go to a cave and they do a ceremony where the green goo that is Aldrea pulsates a bunch, and then Cassie is the chosen one. Wow. Aldrea is in Cassie.
This is horrible. Hang on, no, this is a horrible summary.
Well, how?
This is great.
No one's gonna understand what
this is
any of that
way
means.
better than your summaries. So shut up.
Aldrea is... Why does every fucking episode have to have you screaming at whoever's doing the summary that it's
And
horrible.
your summary's the worst one.
Because no one's going to understand what any of this means.
Sure they will.
Why not?
She
What are you talking
explained
about?
it.
Am I supposed to summarize the Hork-Bajir Chronicles too? What are you saying?
I feel like you're just using very vague terminology.
No, she's not.
Aldrea, if Aldrea only
Aldrea's
plays
personality.
Favlon said, I'm from the Hork-Bajir Chronicles. What do you want me to say? I'm legit.
Aldrea has been dead for many years, and this guy has like his soul, and then he
Okay.
does a ceremony, and then her freaking her memories and mind are now in Cassie's mind.
He took a copy of it, like a carbon copy, and put it in a bottle.
Oh yeah, because at some point during Aldrea's life, she let him do that. She's like, okay, copy my mind, so then when I die, I can be brought back.
OMG,
Possibly.
guys, just like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Aldrea. So
Black
Aldrea
Mirror.
starts narrating the book, and she's told that everyone she loves is dead. So she's kind of like, oh man.
Because now she's sharing a body with Cassie, so they can both.
Well, she's sharing her mind with Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And what are you talking about? And the body. She controls the body.
she's
She can't
basically
control the body.
like a Yeerk
Well,
in Cassie.
no, the mind.
Pretty much.
She's
But
not
it's like
sharing the-
spiritual.
She can move the body, Stuart.
Yeah, no, it's only because she controls the mind. She has nothing to do with the body. It's all in the mind.
Oh my god. This is
That's
very
the
metaphysical.
same thing. What does it matter?
This is very metaphysical and
Well, because
unimportant.
that's not what it is. Kick, punch.
What are you talking about? That's not what it is.
Alright.
She's not sharing her body.
Yes, she
she
is.
is.
No, if she's sharing her body, then the first thing Cassie would do is like, oh, I can't move my arm. But no, it's her thoughts. It's all
That's
about
not-
her thoughts.
No,
She can literally move the body.
Yeah, because she has control of the mind.
There's
Okay,
sharing.
so what difference does it make? You just said she can't move the body.
No, I
This
said
is
she
very-
doesn't. She's not controlling the body. She's just the body's just the
Matter is so
byproduct of controlling the
disappointed right
mind.
Okay, let me explain.
You made it sound like she's like, oh, their body's like the same body now.
All right.
It's kind of like,
Anyway,
listen,
there's a bunch
listen,
of
wait, let me
bickering.
just say-
Aldrea hates the Arn because he's like a liar or something. I don't really get why.
I
She
never
doesn't-
understand why they hate the
She
Arn.
doesn't want him to help because she doesn't want to help him because he will use the Hork-Bajir to his own ends, and she doesn't want the Hork-Bajir to have to fight. But Toby, her granddaughter on Earth, if you forgot,
It was a Hork-Bajir because she turns into a Hork-Bajir at the end of the
yes,
Hork-Bajir.
but you should have known this from the Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
You should know that just by the title, Mustard.
But Toby really, really wants to do the thing. She wants to go to the planet and do the thing. So Aldrea goes along with it while being really shady about it. Aldrea practices morphing in Cassie's body, and Cassie realizes that Aldrea is controlling her body. She has very little ability to fight her, and she's basically like a controller.
Controlling her body, you say?
The Animorphs, yeah, look, I'm the official source on this. The Animorphs discuss with the Chi about how the Chi will take their places while they are gone for a few days.
Wait, I feel like I should say she's not a full.
Why don't you just do the summary?
That's what I said. That was my whole point. With that, no, she doesn't have full control of the body. She's just in the mind. So she
That's
can
why
find
it's
the right
sharing!
body part.
If they're sharing the body, that implies
Why are you
they're
so
sharing
fucking
it, and that one person doesn't have full control. Do you know what sharing means?
No, sharing implies it was like more or
Look at
less
the
equal.
fucking bars! Look at the fucking noise you did! Look what you did!
It's not that they're sharing the body, it's that she's in the mind, and
Guys,
by
it's just
controlling
a
the mind, she can
podcast.
move the body.
My
but
mom
she figures
who's
out
listening
how.
to this doesn't even understand what's going on, even when we do the survey, this summary correctly. It's
Oh,
okay.
I guess we can skip the
Well,
rest of this then.
I want to
Master
say
is
this because
getting his blood pressure really high.
it's
This
it's
is
kind
so,
of.
why do you care about this? This
It's-
book sucks!
No, it doesn't. Everyone gave this book a thumbs up
Yeah,
except
you
you,
are-
who gave it a
This
thumbs
isn't
down for some
This isn't a
reason.
fucking democracy!
You are like
I get to have my
out
opinion.
of your mind. I was like, I read this. I was like, wow, if someone gives this like even a man, they're
Dude,
out of their
Be
mind.
Natural.
Okay, I was thinking about giving it a match.
Before I read this book, Be Natural, and before Be Natural was
Wait
like,
a minute, let me
why
fin-
did-
can
why
I
did
finish
Battle
the
give it a
summary,
thumbs up?
please?
Okay.
They get in the ship and they are off. Immediately, Aldrea and Axe start fighting over how Ciro was such an idiot. Oh my god. But also, Axe's brother did the same thing to the humans, so...
Which one's
Anyway,
Cyril?
wah wah wah. Ciro's
Aldrea's
Aldrea's dad who gave the Yeerks morphing abilities. Wah wah, don't compare us humans to Yeerks, even though we had a whole book where we realized that Yeerks are people. Okay, that didn't matter. Aldrea has one of those movie nightmares where everything is extremely literal and spelled out, and all her loved ones say exactly what's wrong. They arrive near the Hork-Bajir planet, which is surrounded by Yeerks, and an undercover Andalite fighter just happens to be there and just happens to start firing on them. So then there's a space battle where the Animorphs and the Andalite fight. The Andalite engines, die, but then some Yeerks show up to kill him. So the Animorphs fire at the Yeerks, and the Andalite joins in, and it's, you know what, it's fine. They fight, everyone's fine. Aldrea goes to the planet, and she sees it all beaten up, and she's like, oh man. They go to the Arn lab, and everyone is shocked that Aldrea says that she hid the weapons after the Ixilla was made. Even though she literally said that in chapter 8 and everyone heard, but everyone is shocked and hates Aldrea now.
It's like in The Room when he's what, Mark? At least it was cheating on
Yeah,
you.
it's exactly like that.
Exilla is the name of her,
that's her.
consciousness copy.
That's her personality thing. So they all turn into Hork-Bajir and run around trying to find the weapons.
How do you spell Exilla?
I don't know.
It's like maybe after Exilla.
Ixcila.
Thank you.
Cassie then realizes that Aldrea isn't really alive, but pretty much is, and she likes being alive. And then they have, some, emotional stuff. We can talk about it later. Man, this summary sucks, mostly because of Mustard's fault, though. Aldrea says that where her home was, and everything is destroyed, and there's a Yeerk pool built there. Also, part of the Yeerk pool is built out of the piece of wood that Dak and Aldrea put the weapons in. Oops. The plan is to crush the dam by having Cassie morph a whale and fall on it. So they do that. Aldrea gets scared and tries to mess it up, but it doesn't matter. It works. The other Animorphs who were insects in Cassie's mouth, it doesn't matter. The other Animorphs turn into Andalites and Hork-Bajir and sharks and start causing chaos while Cassie and Aldrea try to find the thing in the Yeerk pool. They find the ship and they blast their way out. The end. I don't even know what happened at the end, so you guys are gonna have to fill me in on that one. We can talk about it maybe now. I guess
Toby was gonna stay on the Hork-Bajir planet to fight, but then Cassie and Aldrea team up to trick everybody into bringing Toby home.
I'm so confused by that.
It was very confusing.
Literally couldn't believe the book ended like that. I literally was like, that must be a problem with my physical copy that I bought and mailed to everybody. Yeah. You know, literally, I could not believe. What the frick was that entire last page? It was what? Okay, so here I have. Okay, Cassie didn't say anything. So Aldrea is the narrator here. Cassie didn't say anything more. There wasn't anything to say, not to each other. Jake, Cassie cried, Aldrea is struggling to seize control of me, and this is a lie. Jake and all the others jerked around, bristling, ready to fight. Aximili moved quickly to get behind Toby. He whipped his tail forward and held the blade against the young Hork-Bajir's throat. Release your hold, Aldrea. You will leave Cassie's body, or your great-granddaughter will leave her own. Axe, Jake cried. I'll kill you, Andalite, I cried through Cassie's mouth. The Arn will give me a new body, and I will come after you. I doubt that, Aldrea, daughter of Ciro the Fool. Toby will go with us as a hostage to ensure your good behavior in the future. Now leave our friend Cassie. I did. I left Cassie behind, lifted up out of her body, her mind, and was drawn back to the bottle. I could no longer touch, no longer hear, no longer see. For a while I could remember. It wouldn't take Toby long to realize she'd been tricked, but by then Toby and the others would be on their way back to Earth. My thoughts, my consciousness, my memory were all fading. I still saw my son, still saw Dak, still saw... So...
That's how it begins. That's the last word. Why is that... Okay, what are you confused by?
Why did they do that? Why didn't they just say, okay, bye?
Autistic.
Because... What do you mean, say bye? Right. What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean,
because
why didn't say bye?
They wanted Toby... Because Toby was going to stay on the Arn planet, and then they wanted to trick her so that she would go home and be with the rest of the Hork-Bajir.
Why did they want to do that?
Because before that...
I think it's better for her.
Before that, everyone was like...
I don't know, it's a really stupid shoehorn thing that was...
This book doesn't respect Toby at all. That really bothered me the whole time. Toby's just a prop. She has no, agency, and nobody lets her have any agency. There doesn't even seem to be any, which is fine. I'm fine with, the Animorphs doing bad things. It's kind of, what this book series can be about sometimes.
Kind of like the Animorphs aren't the good guys.
But no, freaking Cassie is the narrator in this book, and as far as I remember, she didn't even have any kind of, inner conflict about just using Toby as this prop and not letting her see her own people and all this stuff that they're doing to her. She's like, oh, whatever. It didn't seem like the author realized how much of a prop they were making Toby to be, and how much little agency she had.
Well, because Toby wanted fight. Toby wanted fight in war on the Hork-Bajir planet, but they were like, no, she should be on the Earth to help getting more free Hork-Bajir out instead.
But they were just yep, okay, decision made, and everybody. Why does Axe they all decide to take Toby hostage independently? They just knew that Axe would do that?
No, that was part of the lie.
But who is
Aldrea and Cassie were
Who's tricking who?
I thought that Cassie and Aldrea were tricking everybody else, and nobody else was in on this.
Because I forget who it was. Was it someone said, "Oh, there's no way Toby will come home with us"? I believe Axe said it, and he was like, "Oh, Aldrea, can you do something to help Toby come home with us?" And then she was like, "Yeah." So then that whole thing happened where only Toby was being tricked, as far as I believe.
Oh.
Axe was in on it, and obviously Cassie and
scumbags?
Whatever went on it.
Yeah.
It just seems so out of character. All the Animorphs also seem pretty out of character in this too. They seem so needlessly cynical and hostile, and even Cassie was just there was like, you'd think Cassie would be the one to be, like, questioning this and be like, maybe, like, wait, why do we think we know better than Toby, who's, like, the smartest person ever or something? Like, we keep saying she's so smart, but also she's dumb. Okay, just racism.
No, that's literally what it is. What are you talking about?
Well, I thought, Toby's thing was that she's not a genius. She's just as smart as androids and humans.
I feel like they talk about her like she's like smarter than
smarter than all of the Hork-Bajir, yes.
But she's smarter than the humans.
Maybe
she's wise.
Dude, Zero. Dude.
Saints Row.
All right. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
that
this book is really good.
No.
Because while I was reading this before I finished, you were like, "Oh, I can't believe Barrow gave this book a thumbs up. Like, what the heck happened there?"
Yeah.
And then as I was reading, I was like, "This book must end like horrible," because I was loving it. Like, I was like, "This book must end horribly."
Boring.
I wasn't loving it. But I wasn't hating it either.
I just thought the whole concept was very interesting.
I thought the
like
concept
the
was interesting enough that it justified its own existence.
It was kind of like, it really was Hork-Bajir Chronicles too, because I didn't
but
like...
it had a very interesting sci-fi concept that led the entire book.
I don't need the book to be good, it just needs to have a concept in it.
It was interesting the whole time.
No.
Because of that.
The characters were weird and out of character and annoying, and the book was largely boring and bad.
What parts were even boring?
Yeah, I thought none of it was boring, personally.
Like the part where there was a space battle, it was like obligatory, and it was like, okay.
As far as animal
space battle.
Yeah, as far as animals battle scenes go, I think that's by far one of the
Who wrote this book?
Pretty much every
I'm
single.
I'm so vindicated by whoever wrote this. Can I see this book?
Pretty much every Animals book has a boring fight scene. Honestly, I think this is one of the few books that I thought had no boring scenes in it. Not that every part was like super interesting, like book 19 for example. But this one I think had no scenes where I was like, oh, can the scene end already? Like I thought the whole thing was pretty like
Melinda Metz.
Yeah, I agree with Mustard on that.
interesting the whole time.
Wait,
compared to like every single book.
What'd you say, Stir?
It says you ghostwrote it in the book.
Yeah. It says special thanks
to...
Oh, didn't she do a previous ghostwritten book that we liked?
I don't know why I said
I feel like she did a previous ghostwritten book that we didn't like, or that I didn't like. I think she did 27. That's my guess.
Stir, why didn't you at least write down in your notes all the places that you thought were a JoJo reference?
Oh, it's just one.
Yeah, what's the JoJo reference you're talking about?
She wrote 29, which was like decent, I guess. But 29 was like, okay, this book is like, it has a good idea, but it's like not written well. Like it's
Which
not.
book was that?
I still gave it.
I like The Sickness more than you do.
Yeah, that was a good
I
book.
gave 29 a thumbs up because it was like it had enough good ideas in it, but it was like, man, I just wish this book was written by a better writer. Is what like that was my memory of that book.
I'm so bad like knowing how good someone is at writing because I can't write. So to me, like if you like have words on a page that mean something, I'm like, wow, that's pretty good writing.
Okay, so chapter 1.
Anyway, the JoJo reference.
Oh.
Rachel is like blah 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 blah, and then Marco's like, the next thing that's going to come out of your mouth will be this, and then she says that, and that's what Joseph Joestar says.
That's funny.
Okay. The idea of like
Must you
Marco,
find out where that is in the book?
You know, if Marco was born in like
Marco is definitely a hormone user, confirmed.
If Marco was born in like 2000, he definitely would just start like saying stuff in Japanese as a JoJo reference. Like he would just like perfectly quote. Yeah, he would perfectly quote Joseph Joestar. Is that the character you're talking? I haven't seen JoJo.
Joestar, yeah.
I was
okay, so I thought this book's concept was very interesting the whole time because it's a character who we've seen in a previous book, and in my opinion,
I liked Aldrea more, but she kind of sucks.
Yeah, she sucks.
Okay, no, the thing is, I think the book.
I don't think she was being inconsistent.
No, listen, the book.
I
like this because the book did not paint Aldrea as a good person the entire time. Yeah. It was like Cassie was paranoid about Aldrea taking, like, because it's kind of like a Yeerk controlling, but it's mostly just they can hear each other's thoughts, and Cassie can give Aldrea control when she wants to. But also there's some parts where like there's a part where like Cassie was about to fall, and then Aldrea suddenly like took control and like stopped it or whatever.
Her mind. She had, like...
It seems to be like Yeerks except equal. Like instead of the Yeerk having almost all the power, they are equal in terms of their ability to.
I think Cassie probably has a bit more control.
Well, it's just that she's more used to having the mind. That's the only reason.
Well, no, there's part where Aldrea tried really hard to control, and then Cassie tried really hard to stop her, and then she was successful in that.
So she's more used to the mind.
I don't know.
That's not in the book.
Yes, but that's the only reason it would be.
Or because it's literally her body, so therefore she has more control because if that's how it would work.
Yeah, it's her body because she's been in it longer.
What?
No.
You're trolling.
It's an Elvis reference. I'm telling you.
Anyway, so
Okay,
like the
Cliff
whole
Notes existed in 1997.
yeah, that was my first note too.
It was?
Cliff Notes. Yeah, it was a book series. It wasn't a website.
It was. Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
We're
know
so
that.
young.
I know.
So did they just like write summaries of other books or something?
Yeah. I think so.
Guys, did they said an encyclopedia? What is that? Some kind of like weird version of Wikipedia?
Is it like the knockoff Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
I want
Is
to
there
talk
like
about
a
this
show
thing
called
because like
Encyclo?
Were they trying to like avoid like copyright infringement from Wikipedia?
Yeah.
So they just said encyclo instead. Someone trying to, it's like a super like sci-fi sounding term. Like they try to make it sound cool, I guess, by adding like cyclo in the middle of it.
okay, that's enough.
Welcome to the alternate universe where Encyclopedia is an alternate universe of Wikipedia podcast starring Stir.
I thought Aldrea was cool in this book because she was clearly painted as an antagonist in some ways because there was a constant paranoia from Cassie of like, okay, like before, like after they put Aldrea's consciousness into Cassie's brain, they're like, okay, Aldrea, you have to come out from your dawn, okay? And she was like, I will do what I have to or something. And she was very vague about it and suspicious.
Very,
she said,
very,
"Proud boy,
very
stand by
Donald
and
Trump
stand
when
down."
questioned about the results of the election. Answer like,
Yeah.
will you accept the results of the election if I win? That's Aldrea.
I thought
Yeah.
this book made me like Aldrea level because I remember you guys kind of hated Aldrea in Hork-Bajir Chronicles, and it's like,
well, I mean, she's a bad person.
well, yeah,
Like,
and I like how
She's not
intentional.
very likable.
I like how intentionally like bad she is, you know, and like, but it was so different from the David book, where the entire time it was clearly set up that David
Right.
was gonna be
Yeah,
bad.
I like that there's a little bit of nuance.
Well,
There was
also-
a lot of nuance because I had no idea how it was gonna end because I was like, okay, I don't like how clearly this is setting up that she's not gonna get out, but then she did anyway.
Well, also this
Like
Aldrea character is treated as like a hero. You know, she's a
Yeah,
hero.
oh yeah, she's like a historical figure who like was big in like the battle like 50 years ago or whatever.
and everyone
Yeah,
just
she's big
hates her
dead now.
though. Like
They
everyone
should
just
put-
immediately
they should
hates
put
her, and
George
I'm
Because the Animorphs are like
Cassie's brain.
They don't hate her;
mean.
they're suspicious of her.
I'm
What?
confused. Like they
Everyone
just
doesn't hate her.
they seem like they're like did the
What are you
Hork-Bajir
talking about?
The Animorphs don't respect people different from them. That's just a fact.
They hate the Arn so much.
Okay.
I don't understand why they
I
hate
don't know
the
why
Arn.
they hate the Arn. I
They just
love the Arn.
immediately hate the Arn.
Because
like,
the on
like in my summary, I said like Arn says, and the Animorphs say kill yourself, and that's the whole
Yeah.
chapter of this book. They're just like yeah, well, like I think they literally say kill yourself. Like I
'Cause
think
he's a
like not, you know, like
eugenist.
there's like a part where he's like yeah, I'm the last of my kind, and then one of the Animorphs is like well yeah, why don't you get on with that like something like telling him to kill himself.
they hate the on because the on bioengineered a species just
Boo
for their own
frickin'
benefit.
who?
I know, boo freaking. Aren't you?
The
happy that-
Animorphs hate the concept of somebody playing God now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they do.
Yeah, they
What's-
do.
honestly-
Well, they hate the idea of anyone besides them.
They're like the
playing God.
Hork-Bajir are slaves. I'm like, the Hork-Bajir still have free will. How are you a slave if you don't even know who your master is?
Let's say what cows are.
Well, they hate the elements too.
They're not cows. They just are existing. Okay.
No, well, they're existing to like be like it's like how we have
Whatever.
cows like in a field.
I don't care.
playing
If
the
somebody
grass.
made humans and they're like, I engineered humans to want to like build rocket ships and reach the stars, would I be mad that somebody did that? No, I'd be
but
like,
the
well, I
Animorphs
guess I'm a
would.
human.
The Animorphs
Anim-
hate being like controlled.
Animorphs are crazy.
Animorphs go to
I
like
know.
the aliens from 2001, be like, "Yo, you
I
had
haven't
no
seen
right.
that yet. I have to watch
Where's- I
that.
want
Animorphs
to
would
ret-
hate 2000.
I want to return to monkey."
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I love
No,
this,
that makes sense. Now that you've reminded me of that, it just seemed weird that they were like mad at this individual guy. Like they don't know that this individual guy is like responsible.
well,
or
he is pretty
complicit.
sneaky. They says he like
Later,
smiles
but,
with
like,
a
before he
slimy
says-
smile.
Oh, they don't like this fucking alien. They just can tell that his
There's this-
facial
guys,
expressions.
There's this one point. Yeah, that too. Like they assume they can tell what he's
We could
thinking.
just feel Wizard 3's
Even though they
evil
never even met
aura
a
coming
freaking
off
arm
of
before.
him.
But there's this one point where he's like, yeah, I can't wait until we get back to the Arn planet. And they're like, you mean the Hork-Bajir planet, right?
Jeez.
That's really funny.
It's literally his planet.
It's his planet. He was there first.
So the reason I love this book
The
is
Arn literally like forced themselves to live in a hole just so that the Hork-Bajir can have the whole planet to themselves. I don't get it.
Okay, the Arn. So the Arn says, "My plan is to collect samples of the DNA of the free Hork-Bajir. With their permission, I would then use the DNA to create a new colony on my home planet. To do what? Fight the Yeerks for you?" Tobias asked. Is that what you meant when you said the Hork-Bajir would get revenge? Like, it's just immediately. I think that's the first thing Tobias says to this guy. It's just weird. Like, they just assume that this guy's up to no good.
Well,
immediately.
I mean, he is asking for a lot, to be fair.
just some DNA samples, right?
Well, and a lot of trust, and like giving him like a whole planet that's like in the middle of a war and giving him a species that
He already made. But hey, I have a question about the Arn. Why doesn't he just get his own DNA and then make more Arn?
Because he wants Hork-Bajir to fight, not Orin.
He only cares about having a species to fight. He doesn't care like that his own species is dying.
Well, yeah, they should have said
Wow,
no.
he
That's
seems
why
pretty
they're
noble then. It seems like he's not in it for himself almost. Seems
Exactly.
Like
It's almost like when he dies, the Arn won't benefit from the Hork-Bajir at all, and it's just going to be Hork-Bajir on the Hork-Bajir planet.
What do you mean fight? To do what? Fight the Yeerks for you? Like, well, yeah, to fight.
Bro's literally about to
you guys are
die.
doing?
How
Fight
is
the Yeerks?
anything he's doing that altruistic?
Fight the Yeerks. Maybe fight the Yeerks so that the Hork-Bajir, who are all enslaved on their own planet, can be free.
Maybe like
that's
10
why.
books from now they'll find out.
Maybe
that, like,
maybe you
that's
guys
what
just
you
want to
do.
blindly fight the Yeerks too, and you're not questioning yourselves for that.
Yeah.
I understand that this guy was pretty shady, and like maybe I feel like part of the problem is that like they don't really tell us like how the other Animorphs came to know about all this stuff. Like I understand that about all this like Hork-Bajir Chronicles stuff
Because the Hork-Bajir told Tobias
I understand
through the eyes of Visser 3's perspective, so they know everything right down to the very last detail, including all the dialogue.
Yeah, well,
so
like,
don't you worry.
Wait, how did Toby know
this?
Visser 3's perspective? What?
Yeah.
Remember, part of the Hork-Bajir Chronicles was written.
No, that didn't make any sense. It was dumb.
Right, I know. I
I'm
feel like
making
it would have
fun of
helped
it.
us
Yeah, making fun of
understand
that
why they
specifically.
don't like the Arn immediately. If it was like explained to us, like first of all, when
It's
did
implied that Tobias told the
it's
other
implied,
Animorphs.
but that's the problem. I feel like they could have told us, like, okay,
Aren't
so
you the guys who
Tobias
like
told
say
us.
don't spray it or like show it don't
Yeah,
tell
say
all
don't
the time?
spray it. I
Yeah,
didn't
you're
want
the guy,
to
you two
spray
are always
it.
like show don't tell, and now when they show you don't tell, you whine about it.
They don't. What they don't. What they show doesn't make sense. Like, well, I need some context here.
The
like,
context is Tobias probably told them.
probably. But what did he tell them that made them hate them so much? Like, did he?
The truth.
I guess.
No, because remember in Hork-Bajir Chronicles, they hate the Arn too. It's true.
That's true, but like, first of all, okay, like reading the Hork-Bajir Chronicles, you kind of get this idea that like there's a bit of narrative, what's it called, artistic license involved, where okay, I don't think that Dak is literally telling Tobias the perspective of Visser 3 down to like his internal thoughts of Visser 3. I don't think that's happening. I think that's we just cut to this flashback while Dak is telling Tobias, and we're supposed to assume that Tobias gets a similar amount of information just in a way that makes more sense in universe. But like, so I didn't assume that like Jerahami is telling Tobias this story and like seething in hatred over the Arn. That just doesn't seem in character for Jerahami. I guess maybe it's possible, but like this is the thing where I would like to be told, just like this book do not care about giving too much exposition. Come on, they could be like, yeah, Tobias told us that the Arn were very untrustworthy according to the Hork-Bajir's stories, and like it just doesn't. I'm just having trouble picturing how they could be so untrustworthy of this Arn based on what we have so far. Like what
based on the basic plot elements of the Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
Yeah, like you'd think they'd want to give us a little more. I would prefer if they were just more like, you know, they can be guarded, but they were just like the first thing, like Axe is just like, dude, I'll kill you. For no reason.
To this older guy who's the last of
Axe
his
is such a hater in this book.
He's such a hater of everything, too. He hates Aldrea, too, which, like, that makes sense. That's in character.
Oh, and the reason he hates her is because
She
turned into a Hork-Bajir.
Yeah, he's like, oh, why would
someone who, and, like, your brother did that, so, excuse me.
That part was really cool.
Yeah.
Because there was a whole part.
I don't know if it's cool, but it did happen.
Well, yeah, there was a whole part where, like, where Elfangor made some comment about how Siva was bad because he, like, gave the Yeerks powers or whatever. And then Aldrea was like, oh, well,
Elfangor did everything that Axe doesn't like.
And
he
then
turned into a human, and he gave the power.
Well, yeah, because then Aldrea like, pointed out, she was like, oh, well, your brother did that too. And he was like, don't compare it to Zero. And I thought that was really cool that Aldrea was like making fun of hypocritical Andalites.
The thing that was wrong with Zero is that he didn't predict the negative outcomes of what would have happened.
Well,
so if
yeah.
Elfangor had done the same
They
exact
told him
thing
not
and
to
then
do
humans
it.
turned evil, then he would have turned out just as bad.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the idea, right? Like,
it's not that he didn't predict it, that he didn't take the warning from people saying don't do this.
Yeah.
He didn't say don't do it specifically about
But they didn't know that the Yeerks were going to turn evil.
Well, no, but the other people said don't give people technology they can't handle, and he didn't.
Yes, and Elfangor gave humans morphing powers, which they don't have
so
from their own evolution.
Too.
Oh, so Elfangor is not bad because nobody specifically told him not to do that.
Elfangor's still bad.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, but it's not like the only thing he did wrong was not knowing. The only thing he did wrong was doing the thing wrong. That Elfangor also did, and Andalites are...
Well, okay, a big theme of this is like the theme of the series is like hope and like putting your faith in things that you don't necessarily know will turn out to be true, but you want to. But you want
for Brain to Karen.
Well, Elfangor trusted humans.
That book is so good. Like that book is just like a microcosm of like all the stuff they're trying to communicate with the broader series. Like, I mean, I'm talking about book 19 here. Like a big theme of the series is like you want to like, I guess cast your invest in the future that you want to see, even if it has risks, even if you're risking stuff by like being too hopeful for like the universe that you want to see. It's still worth it to take those risks because you have hope. And that's exactly what like Elfangor did, and obviously the Andalites here are like the antithesis to that theme, where they're like, no, never have hope for that. Always just keep everything to ourselves, even if just let stuff go to shit. And we'll be happy knowing we had no involvement in that.
Mm-hmm.
Does Axe know that Elfangor became a... Yeah, he does, because he knows that Tobias was his...
As established in the Hork-Bajir Chronicles, the Andalites don't actually care that much about, like, who lives or dies in the Yeerk War, as long as Andalites are relatively okay. Like, they pretty much just care about, like, their own reputations and, like, stopping the Yeerks, and because they're the ones that started the whole thing.
Well, that's why I like Aldrea as a character, because she's, like, against all that...
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like a lot of this book puts a lot of stock in the fact that Aldrea chose to be a Hork-Bajir, and she really like sees herself as a Hork-Bajir instead of an Andalite at this point.
I just felt it wasn't
she's
developed
like
enough.
willing to defend that.
It was developed in a whole book that you didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
well, it does it more than it did in the Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
I don't know. She just felt
what else could she have said about it?
She just felt flat and like a character who just kind of like. Went in any direction that the author wanted, depending on the chapter. Like it seemed like they were trying to make her mysterious, but
and it worked very well for me. I'll say
it didn't. She just felt too flat. Like and like she had these like.
Okay,
flashbacks.
I feel like there's some bias here because you've read all these books before, so there wasn't the mystery aspect for you.
I guess I didn't. Okay, well. I mean, I feel like that point kind of falls flat because I did not remember how this book ended at all. I was the most surprised out of anyone here about how it ended. Okay,
well, I don't mean specifically like them tricking them. I mean just in general, like.
I mean, I didn't remember how Aldrea got out of Cassie. Okay, you guys knew that Aldrea wasn't going to stay in Cassie for the rest of the series, right?
No, I didn't.
No.
This
series does some unpredictable stuff.
Unrelated. It's about like what we know about Aldrea and what she's like willing to. You know, show the Animorphs.
Also, before we move on too much, I want to say, Axe did know more than Zero knew about the Yeerks. Axe knew more about the humans because he was a human.
You mean Elfangor?
Yeah, sorry, Elfangor was a human for a long time, so he had reason to trust them with the technology.
Well, okay, but nobody knows
Zero was friends with the Yeerks for a long time.
Was he?
That is true.
Oh, you're right.
He literally lived on their
them
planet
as a
and, like,
scientist.
was friends with them. He was literally friends. He was literally friends with the current Yeerks to whom he gave the technology.
Yes.
Elfangor had no idea who these people were.
Well, he didn't have kids with one.
Always have sex before exchanging technology.
Yeah.
You wanted STDs, a sexual technology disease.
That's true, yeah.
My highlighted notes start at chapter 7 because it's where they really.
There's just like stuff in this book that like when I say the book is boring, like just
it was
weird.
So good.
Weird.
Can I talk about why I love the book?
Can you stop interrupting me then, maybe? I was gonna talk about, like, I don't know, I was just gonna read this passage that I thought it was just like, okay, what's the point of this? The atafalxical must be performed. It is the only way to unlock the Ixilla, but the ceremony of rebirth will not succeed unless there is a strong receptacle mind available. Receptacle mind. The phrase repeated itself in my head until it became nothing more than a jumble of sounds, an echo that felt important, but whose meaning I could not grasp. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
I don't get it.
Lots of
what do you mean you don't see what's wrong with it?
Like, what does it contribute to my understanding of anything? It's just like filler.
Because if you describe a mind as a receptacle, that's like kind of divorcing like the personhood of the person who owns the mind.
Well, and then later on, someone's like they're like, oh, we want to come with Cassie to the planet, and he's like, oh, why? She's just a vessel, and they're like,
that's like a minor theme in the book.
It's just, okay, but like, why would that happen in Cassie's mind at this moment?
She's the protagonist.
Because she's thinking about how it might happen to her.
It just takes me out of it when they do stuff like that, where it's like the author's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need this moment to last a little longer. I needed to like stick it in the reader's mind that receptacle mind is an important thing in this book. So let's just have the character like I don't know, just think about it. I guess.
No, sometimes people just think about stuff.
It just comes across as filler and doesn't contribute anything. Sometimes characters go to the bathroom, but did we have to get a description of that in the Animorphs books? No.
This is plot. This is
Except
related to the plot. It's about the main plot of the book. What are you talking about?
And I bet that if the Animorphs didn't go to the bathroom, they wouldn't be able to do lots of the cool stuff that they do.
This book specifically mentions Cassie going to the bathroom, and it's really awkward because it's.
Oh yeah, it does.
Because
looks like my theory. Looks like my point is debunked.
Yeah, your point is debunked.
I forgot about that.
Well, that helps convey how strange, how uncomfortable. Like I like that because
it does.
It helped convey. Okay, can I talk about why I like this book now? Because I feel like
no.
This has been the Be Natural rant about how
this whole book.
You guys forgot who the fucking War Prince is here. It's not.
Okay, but before that, I just remember why I had this book in my hands. Never mind, I'm not going to tell you that. When I read the preview of this book in the previous book, I assumed it was going to be a thing that like suddenly happened because of some weird mysticism thing where it's like,
I thought it was going to be the same thing that happened to Tobias at the end of the other book. That's why I wanted to read that again.
It says Cassie is losing her mind but gaining the mind of another, Aldrea. Her persona now belongs to Cassie.
Hold on.
Like it doesn't. I assumed that was just gonna happen suddenly. Like,
I thought
kind of like in the message how they suddenly just start hearing acts and there's not that that's like a
right. So this book actually did a better thing than that.
It was really cool that it was like biology based,
and not just dumb spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
But Tobias remembers Elfingor's memories because of his DNA.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe Aldrea would be a permanent character in the rest of the series in Cassie's mind.
Oh, come on.
Just like
I don't know. Okay, why don't you guys assume... Well, why do you guys assume that no permanent changes will ever be made in the series? You're like,
Tobias turned into a hawk
I'll say
and
nothing
into a hawk.
here at this point.
I know, but like... It could.
I mean, some
maybe,
stuff... Yeah, some
maybe
stuff
the series
is
is going to surprise me,
hey,
you know?
To be fair, for example,
maybe
the next book...
a character is actually going to be dead.
I do not remember what happens in the next book, so, like, you know, I could be wrong about my insistence that nothing ever happens. Like, you know, like, there's definitely books that I don't remember, and I don't... Obviously, I read this series, like, 13 years ago,
so... I think you remember a new character, huh? Like, if they just...
Probably. I don't know. Honestly.
Now there's going to be, like, a seven loop, and Aldrea's going to have to...
She's in Cassie's body.
Maybe at the end, Aldrea is like, "Hey, Cassie, like, you know, I'm gonna stay in your body, but also, I only feel like coming out like on Sundays."
Okay, I didn't really think it was gonna be permanent, but it is still scary, and I thought it might lead to some sort of conflict.
Can I just watch TV? Can I just watch TV for an hour every night and then like peace out? Can that be my life? And you're like, for all I know, that could have happened. I wouldn't remember.
Okay.
That. Funny.
So in chapter 7 is like when it happens, and then the reason I love this book is not only like the sharing consciousness thing and the conflict between the two people.
The sharing?
Shut up. And the just the distrust they both have for each other. Where like Aldrea is able to like put a mental wall like in Cassie's head so that she can no longer hear Aldrea's thoughts. And like so there's the whole time there was like suspicion between each other, and like Cassie had to be careful not to think certain things to indicate that Aldrea, like that she was suspicious of Aldrea. There's a lot of stuff like that. But also, the thing that really made it interesting to me was the fact that Aldrea is dead. And like, that's just like a scary thing where it's like, this person has to deal with the fact that they're dead, and this is just like her consciousness, which the last thing she remembers was like saving her consciousness, you know, so there's nothing after that. So
which like the book makes it seem like it was something incidental in her life where like Arn was like, "Hey, check out this cool thing I have," and she's like, "Okay," and then presses a button, and then like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, it's been like 30 years, you're dead, your husband's dead, your son's dead, your grandson's dead, but your
whole species is enslaved.
Your great grandson's here. Here's your great granddaughter. Your whole species is enslaved. No one's seen your home in decades."
It's not like a cool concept to you?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're saying this cool. I'm just saying the book didn't explore it that well.
I thought it explored it. Okay, I'm not going to even respond to that.
You're out of your mind.
It seems like it did.
I just thought the writing wasn't that good.
What are you, wacky?
Okay, I'll read some writing I liked.
Too much filler in it.
I liked
filler.
I liked like the initial thoughts of Aldrea. It was so clearly like Aldrea did not want to give up the life that she was brought back from being dead. Where she's like, there's one point where she's like, "Oh, I wouldn't give this up for anything. Perhaps I would even see Toby's child one day. I was like, oh no, she's not going to want to leave. And it's like,
those parts were cool.
yes, and I really liked the first part Aldrea speaks
like
to
a
Cassie.
thumbs down, that's worse than an alligator book. Is like thumbs down.
And I really like that this was a Cassie book because it so well like fit Cassie's character, where she was.
Except
to
the part
me,
where she doesn't care about Toby being like pretty much
okay,
abducted.
I don't care.
Oh,
This is about Aldrea. This book's about Aldrea and Cassie. You can think about whatever.
I like Toby. Okay, I'm a Toby defender. Okay, I'm sorry.
And to me, this is almost scarier than the Yeerks because it's like it's a weird, mysterious technology thing.
If I don't want her to be in here, I'm in the wrong almost.
Yeah. Cassie was like conflicted. Like, do I really kill this person? Like,
again, who's a hero? Who's like George Washington?
I'm allowing this person to live in my mind.
Washington
And when I told her, okay, we're done, you have to leave out, then she's just dead again.
Yeah.
I mean, she gets back in the vessel, so she could potentially be brought back or something. But it's just like the whole scenario is just like a unique, scary thing that I'm glad. This was done way better. This was to me a lot more interesting than like the book about Jake having Yeerk in him. The book about
oh my god.
The book
what
about
do you mean? OMG.
Yeah.
The book about the freaking
better than book 6.
It's a more unique concept.
The concept and the way it's written, yes, is more interesting than book 6.
Way worse.
Well, not the way it's written, but the way the internal conflict is written, I think. Not as much as book, not as good as book 19 probably.
The way it plays out.
The characters of Aldrea and Cassie sharing one body, they're very different characters, and that really like helped it.
If this was a Rachel book, Rachel would be like, "Oh, I hate Aldrea. Oh, this could be the whole."
And that was said in one part.
It's gonna be like mean Rachel.
Because when the thing happened, like he was like, "Oh, one of you will be picked," and then Cassie was like, and then later in the book, Cassie's like, "Is the reason that I was picked is because I'm so passive?" And like Aldrea subconsciously that was like knew that somehow.
That is cool.
That I'm the most passive person here. Because I remember like the first time it was like Aldrea's like, "Oh, can I speak through you?" And then Cassie's like, "Oh, I had no real reason to refuse, did I?" And that was like creepy foreshadowing of like Aldrea wanting more control. And the scene where she is speaking was like so like creepy, where like the way she's like talking like really slow and like seems like having trouble controlling the body. It was like really like strange imagery to me.
Jarring.
And then there was a point where it was like Aldrea laughed. It was a hush, ugly sound that hurt my throat. At one point. And then it's like, oh, she almost reminded me of a Yeerk. And it's like,
dang.
This is somehow scarier than a controller, I think. Like, it's unknown and mysterious. Also, she's dead.
And everybody is like treating her like she's supposed to be in there too.
Well, yeah, because they need her to like help find the weapons. Then.
So yeah, basically Cassie the person is just forgotten. Not saying that wouldn't happen if you were like a controller, but like it'd be understandable because everybody around you is also an evil Yeerk.
Yeah, I don't know how you can say that.
Friends.
I don't know how you can say this conflict isn't more interesting than book 6. Well, book 6 is just, oh, there's a bad guy in the head and we got to get him out, and there's an easy way to do that. We lock him up for 3 days.
Easy. It's also better written. I'm sorry. It's just like the way that they explore like his inner like experience.
Well, I just have to disagree with you on that.
Much more gripping, and this book never got me to be like immersed.
Okay, how about this? Book 6 is the experience that now we know. Okay, yes, this is what happens when you're a controller. It's been through. This is so different from being a controller, where instead of being terrifying because you have no control, it's scary because of like the fear of the unknown. You know, it's okay. This is a dead person. I don't really know what she's thinking all the time. I don't know whether or not she's getting out.
How what the Arn is even like.
Yeah,
what kind of stuff he's working with,
and she's like a multi-dimensional person. She's not just a villain.
She's not a villain. She's more grey than David, you know, and I like that a lot. Like she's clearly a protagonist of the series, but one who is like has these interesting things about her character.
Yeah,
I don't know how we can say this wasn't more interesting than books. Like, I mean, books is probably better written. I haven't read it in a long time. I don't know. I can say like the concept of this book is not way more interesting than like a lot of. I thought it was one of the most interesting books, honestly, just on the sci-fi concept alone of a dead person sharing your mind. Like, that's so much different than anything else we've seen in the series.
Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. I just wasn't immersed. I just didn't like the writing quality.
Because, like...
I don't think I care about writing quality at all.
Yeah, as I said, like, just, like...
I'm not a writer.
Sharing the mind with a grey character already is interesting, But the fact that there's also like her being dead and needing to come with terms with that, and also feeling bad about that,
losing
like
her family.
just there's so many different layers here that just made it like a very interesting like concept of a thing, you know, like so
will
much
say,
stuff
like,
going on.
It could have been written better, but I don't think that necessarily ruined it for me.
I just have no idea what that
consider
I'm talking
laying this
about,
book,
like,
and for all that's worth, but at the end, I was like, this is enjoyable enough. Based on the idea alone.
I don't know, like honestly, I'm not kidding when I say most Animorphs books have some scenes that I thought were boring. And even the action scenes in this, I don't know what about it. Maybe it's the fact that it's all through the lens of this character who is being controlled by two people. It was all very interesting.
When they're fighting the Andalite, they have to like account for the fact that they don't want to just kill an Andalite, and they want to like try to predict what he'll think in order to like make him believe that they're still a Yeerk, or I think they end up like trying to communicate to him that they're good guys.
And that's almost kind of like a mirror of the main concept of the book, where this person's like, there's an Andalite, and but the Andalite might do something bad, and she has to like
kind of manipulate.
Well, and there was a case where like, okay, at this point in the book, this is where Aldrea needs to take control. They need to trust her because she is, a ship, fighting strategist.
A big part of that fight scene was like suddenly Aldrea at one point took control of Cassie without her even like giving permission.
She commanded like the whole fight,
the ship's, like,
and
thing.
Physically, yeah.
Like so, just every scene had these like interesting like things in it, like what like just moments between Aldrea and Cassie, or if either of those like thoughts and stuff. It was really cool. I'd recommend reading this book.
What's the one book that like everyone liked except me? And then I was really bored when we were all talking about it. Like, oh, this was so cool. And I was like, I don't know, whatever.
33?
This was probably my favorite Ghost Written book, I think, so far.
Oh, I think it was 30. And then you really liked 31 because you were like, why don't you just pretend that the Chi didn't save Tom or something?
Yeah. I did say that, yeah.
If Aldrea does not choose to release her hold, there is no way to force her to do so. Okay, Rachel, it's your call, Jake told her. He clearly felt obligated to ask the question, even though anyone who knows Rachel also knew what her answer would be. I still say let's do it, she said. No surprise there, Rachel wouldn't have been Rachel if she'd said anything else. That seems weird.
Well, for context, at this point, they assume that
Rachel's going to be the one Aldrea's soul.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, Rachel's far closer in personality to Aldrea, just because of her like fighting nature and stuff.
It just seemed weird that they were like, the author was characterizing Rachel's personality as like, she likes to do things. Like, it's very literal, let's do it. But like, I feel like
she likes doing insane stuff that will be helpful, but it's dangerous.
Stuff. No, it's more like action stuff. Like, I feel like potentially permanently giving up your body to some rando Andalite that you were like hating on like 2 seconds ago. That's not really like the same thing as like, let's go into battle without a real plan. Like, that's kind of different. I don't know, it felt weirdly weird. I feel like if I hadn't read any books before this, I would just think that the author was telling me that Rachel is just a big sub who wants people to tell her what to do all the time.
You thought a lot of stuff in this book was weird that I just took no note. Everything seemed fine in this book. I took no issues with it.
Okay.
I mean, I probably did.
I just started off this book like, everyone is really unlikable.
Yeah, I actually do not know what you mean when you say that. Like, I don't remember any of that. I mean, you had some examples.
Not taking anything. People are just not taking stuff seriously. Like, it seems like a pretty serious thing, and they're simultaneously like taking it seriously enough to hate on the Arn while also just like, they just take it less seriously than the Animorphs tend to do. It's like,
I think maybe
when Aldrea chooses Cassie, like Rachel says, she chose Cassie. I feel so 10 minutes ago. Like, that seems like rude. I thought you were a good friend. And then Tobias is like, well, this is odd. Like a seance. All we need is a Ouija board.
That seems normal. What do you mean?
That just, I don't know, Tobias of all people. Like, maybe Marco would say that, but...
I wonder if it's because I put so much, like, focus into, the internal conflicts.
I think it's time to call the exorcist. And then the narration says, not a joke. He was worried. Everyone was worried. But I feel like I didn't get the idea. I didn't get the vibe that everyone was worried at all before that. Like, it just seemed like everyone...
It's a scary thing happening. What do you mean?
But everyone was just like saying these like things like, "Oh, I feel so 10 minutes ago." Oh,
that's what you do. That's what these people do when they're scared. Is they make jokes.
I don't know. It just didn't feel.
I really do not know what you mean
when they are annoyed and like, "Oh, let's just get this over with." Annoying. This is a waste of time. I didn't get the vibe that they were worried. The book didn't seem to communicate that to me until the narration said, we were worried.
I thought it seemed like obviously like a worrying scenario. Like they said ahead of time,
Yeah,
oh yeah, this can be dangerous. Why would they not be worried?
It seemed like a worrying scenario during which
why would they have to say, oh, they are worried? I'm
saying their dialogue should reflect more that they are worried and less that they are annoyed and don't care. Which is what I
didn't
got
interpret
from
that.
this.
I didn't get that.
Okay. Yeah, so I wrote down the situation that Aldrea is in is very anti-must scream. Like, the last thing she remembers is being alive and well, and now she's told her hubby is dead, and also she's dead, and it's like decades later.
I haven't read that book or ever.
The Yeerks did extensive blasting to create level places for training grounds. My lab was heavily damaged. The Ixilla of Dak Hami was destroyed, the art explained. Oh yeah, originally they took an Ixilla of Dak as well. And she's like, oh, where's Dak? Please take me to Dak. Like, that's the first thing that she says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it true? If so, then Dak was truly dead. Dead like my parents, like my brother. Then let me die, I said. Let me die too. I said, God damn.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, had I had the chance to say goodbye to... This is the only part of the book that I, actually really liked. Mm-hmm. Had I had the chance to say goodbye to Dak, had we fought side by side until the end, I would never know. My Ixilla had been collected before my death, so the memories of my last moments with Dak did not exist. That's, so existential.
Yeah.
That's this whole book. How is that any different than the rest of it? I don't understand what your complaints are.
It kind of just, dropped off after time. I just didn't really add much more after that.
He died yesterday. This is a different part of the book, I think. And I was not with him. I did not hold his hand and tell him I loved him. Maybe in reality, but not in my memory, which is all the truth I have. That was so cool.
This is all in, chapter 7. Chapter 7 just, drags Aldrea through the mud.
The thing I just read is in chapter 11.
Okay, it just drags her over hot coals. I have, 3 notes from chapter 7 that are, several sentences of her, oh my god, and then it got worse. Because, then she finds out that her kid was, a slave his entire life with a Yeerk. The Yeerks had made his life a living death. There was not a worse fate I could have imagined for my child, and I had not been there to protect him.
Yeah, but let's not make an army to fight the Yeerks, because that would be giving the Arn too much control.
Oh yeah, I was so confused about her. Okay, I thought her character in the Hork-Bajir Chronicles, correct me if I'm wrong, was that she really wanted to fight the Yeerks, and Dak was
she was the one who was okay, time to teach the Yeerks how to do war. I mean, Dak was the one that was
it's not that she doesn't agree with
and Dak was the one that was oh, now they know how to kill each other. I'll never forgive you for this. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's not that she doesn't agree with the concept, but she doesn't trust the Arn. That's the only thing it is. It's not that she doesn't.
No, doesn't she say no? I don't want them to fight. I don't want the Hork-Bajir to fight the Yeerks. It's too dangerous or something. Which is I don't know.
Well, she hated it.
I guess.
It's I want to avoid that for other people.
It just didn't seem justified.
You could say maybe she learned from the other book to care more about Hork-Bajir. That is something that I felt kind of came out of nowhere, but I kind of appreciated was that she loves Hork-Bajir way more in this than she seemed to in the last book. But
that's just been a while.
Oh yeah, so
she lived as a Hork-Bajir. Now she's really into him.
Yeah.
A lot throughout this book.
So maybe some more of her character inconsistencies could be explained that way.
Throughout this book, there are a lot of times where Axe insists that she's an ally. She's like, no, I'm a Hork-Bajir.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Trans rights.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Axe is okay, and he starts calling her Hork-Bajir.
Yeah. Excellent.
Oh yeah, the part where I wrote down for her. We already said this quote, but perhaps I would even see Toby's child one day. I said this is cool because it feels both heartwarming and threatening.
Yeah, exactly. This was so cool to me, and the stuff is throughout the whole book. Cool. I don't know what you mean. There's only some of it. She's clearly she is in a way the antagonist of the book, but it's she's also a protagonist. It's very.
Well, maybe maybe it's this book is better for the novelty or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt disappointed by it because even though I wasn't expecting that much, I guess I think I just knew generally the beats, and so I just didn't like what was filled in between because that's what I was looking for.
Well, that's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I necessarily loved all the stuff in between, but I didn't think any of it was boring, and just I was so intrigued by all the I've already said all this basically, but all the stuff the internal stuff going on, and the whole book was through the lens of that. It was.
Yeah, okay,
made it all interesting.
She's against the Hork-Bajir having to fight, right? So in chapter 8, maybe I should check actual chapter 8, because my note just says, now she's against the Hork-Bajir having to fight. Which, okay, I'm going to go to chapter 8. Oh, but chapter 8 is also where he says, "Can you help us?" The Arn said. "Do you remember where the weapons are hidden?" "No, I know nothing of any weapons. It must have occurred after." The Arn nodded his head sadly. "And yet it was the mind that found the hiding place. Found once, it could find again. Could Aldrea find them? Could I find the weapons I hid?" "Yes, most likely," Aldrea said. Very clearly stated. And then in like chapter 20 or something, they're all like, "You lied to us. You betrayed us. You said that you knew exactly where they were hidden."
Yeah,
Like the author just like forgot.
I hated.
I was
very
wondering.
strange.
Okay, see, I thought I just misremembered when I got to that part later in the book when I was like,
Gaslit us all.
did
Yeah,
she?
the book gaslit
Maybe this
us.
was just narration, but I feel like it was implied that she did not know what it
This
was.
literally
That's really
could
funny.
not have
yeah.
been explained any more clearly.
I just forgot.
So that is a clear. I mean, I guess the animals are just stupid and forgot.
Do you think in the room
All
Tommy was
6 of
all
them
expecting
and
people to
Arn
forget that
They
he
were
was-
are
so-
all idiots. And Cassie, who was in her brain
And
the
Toby.
entire time.
They were so intrigued by her confidence, saying yes, probably, that they forgot the context of
She
it.
really sold it.
Yeah. And then like you said yes.
It's an unreliable narrator situation. She said probably very quietly.
That's funny. I didn't even.
Look.
I did not.
Are you ready? You're our guide. Okay, so this is like chapter. This is chapter 17 now.
What?
Not
said
even
what?
10 chapters later.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready? You're our guide. Take us to the weapons. Let's get this moving. Yes, I'm ready. I tried to cover the uncertainty I felt. Tried to hide it from Cassie. I did not know the location of the weapons. I remember Dak and I and the others, the few who still gathered with us, taking the ship, but I must have hidden them after recording my axilla. You don't know where they are, Cassie accused. Nonsense! Oh my god, you don't! I can feel it, I can tell you're lying. I know where I plan to put them. I know where they must be. We have to tell Jake. You already told Jake, bitch!
Man, I was like, man, I was under the impression that they all knew that she didn't know where they were, but I guess I was wrong. Like, this book did just
He
gaslight
literally
me.
says,
Yeah.
Jake literally says, that's something we should have thought about before we took off. You
You
did!
That
did.
is so funny.
Did they write the second half of this book before the first half? Or
This
something?
seems like the biggest like objective mistake in any animal
I think
sport.
it is.
Yeah.
It definitely
I think it
is.
is.
I mean, like, it's kind of...
Not that it was too relevant in the end.
I mean, no, it wasn't. It was kind of like an unnecessary third act conflict. Everyone hates each other. But,
She
like,
probably just like was gonna write it out and then forgot.
they just needed another way for Aldrea to be untrustful, but yet again, the Animorphs are the ones that are wrong, just
Right.
like Book 9. This is definitely worse than in whatever Book 18, I think, where Visor 3 morphs a Kafit bird, and Axe is like, how could he possibly do that unless he's been to the Andalite homeworld? Like, this is definitely worse than that.
I mean, it's worse in that it's the same book, but it's also like not the entire motivator of the
yeah,
plot. So
it's like it's the most like objective. Like, okay, this is clearly a mistake. Well, like the other one, like, okay, maybe Axe is just stupid, but this is like all 6 characters heard her say,
Yeah.
"I don't know
Dude,
where
maybe all
it
6
is."
characters are...
Like it's not a huge. I wouldn't say necessarily a huge plot hole because like it can
Really
it can just
matter.
easily be fixed by just erasing that line.
Yeah.
But it's just like such a clear mistake. It's really
I
funny.
mean, I did think it was interesting, the idea of finding weapons that you hid,
Yeah.
that you don't know where they are, but, like, I guess the author didn't think that it was that interesting because she forgot about it.
yeah.
Okay. Oop.
I have some stuff written down from chapter 9, just general, narration stuff. This is Cassie. I could have shared control of my mouth, perhaps. I didn't want to give any more control than she needed, but neither did I want to make her hostile by treating her with suspicion. It's kind of how, like, the Animorphs could have treated the David situation more by, like, being less suspicious
Yeah, they
and
learned
stuff.
nothing from that.
Well, I think this kind of is Cassie, like, learning from that, like... Okay, I have to be like, careful here.
Nobody else learned a thing.
Because at this point, this seems a little too close to the David problem now, but it seems better. And this is also
Well, listen, Aldrea doesn't listen to Megadeth or Spawn, so
Yeah.
they can't really tell that she's evil.
And there's a part where like Aldrea is, I forget, she's like flying or something in Cassie's body, and Cassie says it's like being locked in a speeding car with no brakes and no steering wheel,
Yeah.
running as a wolf, like avoiding trees and stuff. And she's like, oh, I just had to trust her. Like, that was the scary image.
Cassie's like, wait, where are you? You're gonna run into the trees. She's like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm a freaking wolf. I know how to not run into trees.
Because it's interesting, because it's not like a joke, like she still has that control.
I
but
thought
it's
it was
like-
really interesting that apparently Cassie doesn't like get the
Doesn't
wolf.
she still perceive the world the way the wolf does?
Apparently not. Apparently when you're being controlled, like, you retain your own, like, perception of things outside of the morph. Which is interesting to think about with, like, Aloran and Visor 3.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Sorry, what do you
if
mean?
nothing else. that you were apparently, if you're being controlled at least through the axilla, then and like the person who's controlling you morphs something, then you still have like your human or whatever your base form sense of like danger.
What's your evidence of that?
Because when she morphs wolf and Aldrea's like running around and Cassie's like, oh my god, we're going so fast. We're going so much faster than I thought.
Well, it's because she's not in control.
Wait, I think it's
Exactly.
I think if a dog was going really fast, not in control, it'd be scared too.
Yeah, I don't think
She
She's the one
sees the
being a
world the
wolf.
way the wolf does.
Yeah, but if a wolf was going really fast, but not in control of its legs, it would be scary.
Okay,
Exactly.
be natural. No, I don't think that means that she doesn't have the wolf senses. If someone was controlling my body and then was running somewhere and I didn't have control of it, I would be scared of hitting trees and stuff because maybe she's slightly less safe than I am and will dodge like a little bit later than I would. Like I don't think that necessarily is implying what you're saying. At least I didn't interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Can I point out a part that I liked?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
X and
Like a clown?
Aldrea are arguing about whether she's an Andalite or Hork-Bajir, and I wrote X said trans wrongs.
Okay, that's just a part that you
Yeah.
you just
But
wanted
then-
to tell us your joke.
But then Rachel, because X is like describing all the personality traits of X is describing the personality traits of a Andalite apparently,
Yeah.
and he says like, oh, your intelligence is not the result of genetic fluctuation. You're emotionally self-controlled, capable of lying manipulation. You're peaceful, moral, courageous, and capable of self-sacrifice. You are in short Andalite, not a Hork-Bajir. And then Rachel's like, you could have been describing a human, but if you'd added in arrogant and humorless, then she would be an Andalite. That's really based.
And then Aldrea laughs out loud at that. I thought that was really
But
cool.
Aldrea is on Rachel's side with that. It's a
Yeah.
really cool moment that shows that she really is a Hork-Bajir.
Yeah.
Like, full stop.
You're asking me to help you use the Hork-Bajir again. Every time one of your new Hork-Bajir kills a Yeerk, he will be killing one of his own kind, Aldrea asked. You brought me back to help. That's not a question, but okay.
I remember that actually.
You brought me back to help. Oh wait, that's a period, and then okay, this is phrased strangely because then there's a period, and then it says Aldrea asked, "You brought me back to help kill Hork-Bajir." So it's like instead of saying you brought me back to help kill Hork-Bajir, Aldrea asked. It's Aldrea asked, "You brought me back to help." So it's just anyway.
A bit awkwardly.
So I guess Dak at some point off screen, or maybe at the end of the Hork-Bajir Chronicles. Honestly, the book was boring. I don't remember. Dak apparently convinced her of that position where it's like, oh. Every time that a Hork-Bajir kills, every time, if, win or lose, we will lose ourselves either way because we'll be killing each other.
Yeah, she believes that now.
I guess so. I don't know. It just
She
felt out of
learned-
nowhere to me, but I guess I will.
You're very invested in like
that's
the
what I was saying
beliefs of the
before, is that there's
characters.
some things that she could have, like, her position on them could have changed in between the two books.
That's fair. I don't know. It's fine.
You're far more invested in like the beliefs of these characters than I am.
Like, there's a point where Aldrea is talking to
Well, she
Toby,
just wants
and she's like,
consistency is all she wants.
and Toby's like, I want to fight, blah, 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 and she's
Thank you,
like,
Star.
you'll change your mind when you see the piles of Hork-Bajir bodies piled up.
Yeah, that is fair.
And it's like, wow, Aldrea said that to Toby. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that is cool, though, because then she's like, it's like shows that she's more of a Hork-Bajir now than she was before.
Yeah.
And that she takes the Hork-Bajir Dak's position on this.
Exactly.
Although, what does that say about Toby? I guess
Toby's just naive.
Yeah, that's true.
Toby's like literally like a child.
She's literally like a year old or something.
Although she is the size of an adult Hork-Bajir, I guess.
I assume they just become adults soon. I assume she's an adult. She's
They
just
do
young.
heal
I
fast,
was
so
still,
it'll make
I was
sense if
still
they grow
picturing
fast.
her as like 3 feet tall.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. Why wouldn't I?
Because they never mentioned that. They just mentioned her like being another Hork-Bajir
They never mentioned her
They
growing.
mentioned that she was a baby.
in like 5 books ago, but they
Yeah,
mentioned.
I didn't assume. I don't know how long it's been in between books.
Oh, it didn't mention that Jake has short hair. He must have long hair now.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Jake's hair must have gotten so much longer because they didn't mention.
I
him
just
getting a
think if
haircut.
Toby was 3 feet tall, they would have said, and then another Hork-Bajir was 3 feet tall, unlike the other ones. Instead of saying, and then another Hork-Bajir showed up, and she had
What
an
are
air
you
of intelligence
saying?
about her. The narration.
They know who Toby is.
Usually, they describe like
You have a good
characters.
point there.
They describe characters as they show up all the time,
Yeah.
especially like non-main cast characters. Like
Yeah.
didn't they describe Jera Hamid? They describe a Hork-Bajir every single time it shows up. Like they would definitely say that if she was. I just assumed that she was an adult.
Well, I overlooked that.
Well, I'd like to hear her. I'd like to hear them say, "Oh, she's an adult now." Until they say,
She's
"Hang
suddenly
on,
18.
let me put this in the
Can I
headcanon
see
now."
the inside cover?
Oh, why is it supposed to be Toby there?
Hey,
I don't
maybe
know.
it would have been
I
nice if Tobias or somebody was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so big."
Let me put this in the
That would be
headcanon
cool.
channel right now. Until they specify that she has grown, I will assume that Toby is still child size.
Well, hold on one second, Mustard.
What?
The reason I brought this up was because at some point it mentions that Cassie had to look up to see into Toby's eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I think she is adult size now.
Look up where.
Size of an average human mother.
Yeah.
Wait, there might be a part where Cassie has to look up to see into Toby's eyes.
Well, what if
I
Cassie
mean, there
is
might
2
be.
feet
You don't
tall?
believe me?
It does say Cassie is short.
I have to go find it.
Cassie is like.
Yeah.
I searched look up and I didn't say anything on the control F. So
I remember
Okay, well,
stuff
I
wrong.
didn't know the exact wording,
Yes, you don't remember it fully, so.
so it could just be wrong. Okay.
Well, I've misremembered stuff all the time.
I can't be certain until I see it myself.
I'm constantly like just. I was telling my mom like, "Oh yeah, you told me that story," and she was like, "No, that didn't happen to me." And I was like, "What? No, you told me that when you were a kid." And she was like,
Okay,
"No,
that's
you
you,
like
though.
made that up." Yeah, it is me.
Yeah, so I will assume that everyone's like me.
I can remember things happen without remembering them exactly every single detail. Come on, guys.
Maybe the Arn was
Yeah,
the
right.
one looking up in the eyes. I don't know.
Bruh, it was from her perspective.
Maybe she's looking up at the yarn.
Maybe
Okay,
maybe
arms are not
Toby
bigger
is
than
like
humans.
on
You
a
know,
stool.
I think arms are like 4 feet tall.
Maybe Toby's at a stool. Yeah.
He's on top of a ladder.
Yeah, maybe.
She
Maybe
might have
maybe there's
been
something
on
you
She's wearing
forgot.
stilts.
stepladder.
Well, are you gonna vote for him when you're
Put that in
10
canon.
feet in the air on
What are you
stilts?
saying? What? Oh.
Lama Project Castle. You're talking,
Okay.
oh, well, we vote on stilts. Loud and proud.
Okay, here's the part of the book that I thought was a bit confusing.
Yes. What
Okay.
chapter?
I think 8. So, Aldrea and Toby are arguing over like whether or not to do the thing, and I'm just confused.
Which thing?
Whether to fight the Yeerks on the homeworld as Hork-Bajir, and Toby is taking the position that Aldrea once had, if I'm not mistaken, where she's like,
Yeah.
"Come on, we gotta fight. Sorry." And then Aldrea's like, "But if we fight, we will, we'll kill each other, etc." But then she says, "I felt again some measure of Aldrea's sadness. Every word from Toby's mouth reminded her of Dak."
Mhm.
But Dak is the one who is talking more like how Aldrea is talking now. Dak is the one who
What
was
Dak?
saying, like, "No, I don't want to fight. It's not good." And now Aldrea is saying that. But now Toby is saying the thing that Aldrea...
Be natural. This is like years later after the Hork-Bajir Chronicles happens, where they did fights together,
Are
which
you
was
saying
detailed
that
in this
Dak
book.
is like they switched so that she took Dak's former position and Dak took her former position?
Why would this imply that?
Because every word out of Toby's mouth reminds Aldrea of Dak, but Toby
It's
is
because
talking.
she's
I
seer.
just assumed it was because she was a seer and like a Hork-Bajir.
Yeah.
She's the only Hork-Bajir who was around there that can talk like that.
Okay. It's not what I would have imagined, but alright.
That's how.
It's not what I would have
That's
thought.
the thing they have in
based on-
common is that they talk different.
Okay.
This book smells like mold.
I got the impression that she wasn't.
Oh no,
really
but then she
listening to what
literally
was
says,
saying.
"Brave talk, Toby, you may reconsider when you see the bodies piled high. Your great-grandfather did."
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
he-
she's definitely wrong.
He took that position to begin with.
Well, he probably changed because
He changed-
since that book, they did a bunch of battles together. That it
So
talks
he
about in this
changed
book.
back?
He changed to be more like her, and then he changed back. And instead of saying, "I changed," because she's the one who actually seemed to have changed, she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Dak changed. I was always this based."
She
What?
just blamed it on him.
Aldrea's a liar. She just wants to make herself look good.
Yeah, I
mean,
I
everyone
still
does.
feel like she's Dak is too good for her. Dak
Yeah,
should-
oh, yeah, definitely. I still dislike her.
Yeah, I mean, like, I appreciate, I don't know. I was gonna say I appreciate that this book seems to dislike her, but also the way that this book seems to dislike her seems like, I don't know, just like
The wrong way.
It
Shallow.
dislikes her for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
shallow and like, oh, she's scary and
It was cool.
Do you think songs about like jack-o'-lanterns are cool?
Yeah. Curse of the Jack-o'-lantern.
Do you think it's really cool? And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is just about freaking pumpkins?
You know, what'd be cool if not saying that this is like a point deduction against the book. It'd be kind of cool if like Aldrea talked to Tobias more or something about like their relationship with their species.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they have a similar thing going on. Also, I thought this book said something weird in the narration about Tobias, like the way that it introduces Tobias. And you guys are gonna probably think I'm nitpicking here or something, but
I probably forgot about it.
no, yeah, it was a pretty minor thing.
You're nitpicking and biased. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
No, what did she say?
Tobias is or was trapped in Redtail Hawk morph. He regained his ability to morph, but he's chosen to consider Hawk as his true body.
Yeah, I remember that.
That just seemed weird to me.
That's
like,
interesting way
it
of
kind
putting
of
that.
leaves out, yeah, it kind of leaves out the part.
Didn't he like make a choice where like
Well,
they said he could be or the element said that he
No,
could be
he
a
felt
boy.
like he'd been tricked after that
he
happened.
did. He felt like he'd been tricked. It kind of leaves out, but then there was like a whole thing where it was like, well, he really didn't want human to be his
He
real
had
body.
to like accept that for himself.
Yeah, but it kind of leaves out the part where, like, the way this book described it, kind of leaves out the part where he was forced to have Hawk be his true body or lose his morphing powers. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't so, like... This book makes it sound like it was, like, some kind of, like, Brother Bear thing where he was just, like, asked the
Or
spirits
like
at the
an
end.
Aldrea
Like,
thing.
yeah, like, and I'll, like, oh, I just decided to do this. It's kind of the opposite of Aldrea, because his choice would be to lose his morphing power and become a human, or take his new body and keep morphing powers.
Right, and she chose to take a new body and get rid of her morphing
So,
powers.
like, you know, it'd be cool if Aldrea and Tobias could talk some. Maybe they will. I don't know.
Dang, we need some
kind
more like trans species like solidarity in this book.
Yeah, true. We need some solidarity. It's already cool that the Tobias and Elfangor are a trans father-son duo.
Yeah.
This book is too liquid.
What?
It needs more solidarity.
Oh, okay. My question is, do you guys think that if Aldrea comes back, would she have the memories from this book, or does the Axilla only record the memories that she, like, her physical self recorded?
That's a good question.
I don't know. It's one of the things we don't know because they never show it.
Yes,
Just,
I
like,
think it would. I think it
whether
would.
Morphin heals someone.
I think she would have this. Is number one. I think she would have the memories of this book because Excel is, I assume, like a copy of a brain, which.
But can
would
it like?
be adding
Well,
stuff
it can
to
still store memories.
Yeah, exactly,
Right?
yeah.
So maybe it can store new memories too.
It can store. Maybe it only can store memories in Cassie's brain, though.
But I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe that's
Cassie's
the
brain
point.
was
Like
like
maybe.
RAM.
Actually,
Maybe
that's
it's
a
like
good
a
point,
GameCube.
actually. That's a good point. Okay.
Right, where like the save file is connected to the specific machine instead of the.
I like that concept.
Gamer
That's funny.
explaining Xenomorphs.
Why is that how GameCube
Life is like a GameCube.
No.
Picture
no,
a GameCube.
Picture a bus.
That's funny.
Where
Picture
if you
a
take
hamburger.
the game out of your chosen system but leave the memory card in the system, then when you put the game in another system, you can't keep playing where you left off.
I don't think that's how it works, but I like that idea. That's funny. I could see it going either way. I don't know. To
Yeah.
answer your question.
Okay.
Like if you don't take the memory card out, like if the memory card is still in the first GameCube, you don't put it in the second one.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I just because
She
like
is a vessel.
I kind of did like a little bit how mystical the Axilla was, in that we didn't have Axe being like, it actually makes sense scientifically like this. Like, no, it's just like, dude, shut up. It's sufficiently advanced technology. Okay.
One thing that was cool, I think, is this could have been brought up before, so don't get mad at me. The On, it says they are really bad with technology, except for this like bioengineering stuff. That's like the only like.
Well, it said they were
technology.
bad at physics, but they like biology. That's what they said in the Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
Which
I thought was a little
repeated
bit
that
funny.
in this book.
Which I thought was pretty funny, given the
It
context
says,
was, we can't build a spaceship to, like, escape our dying planet because we like biology too much.
Yeah.
The quote
Which
here
is,
is,
you know, that's sure, that's fine.
we are perhaps
It's just
unequaled in our biological science, but we have no great
Listen,
technological
if you can
skill.
solve the problem with biology, why try to learn physics in the first place?
Why didn't they
succeeded.
Why don't you just build an organic spaceship, huh? Just
Yeah.
build a big
Build
guy.
a big tree that
Just-
can fly,
Just
idiots.
build a
They
big
could do
guy,
that, yeah.
a big glab guy that can, like, fart its way across space. Just
Yeah.
why don't you just do that if
You're
you're so
stupid.
if you're so
Why do you
good
love
at
your
technology?
stupid planet so much, idiots?
You're so good at biology, you can.
It's already a dated
Just
reference in
build an
2024 when
organic
recording
spaceship.
this.
What?
Go grab
Collab.
We were just talking about
How
the
was it
Global
dated?
Gap
Didn't it
Lab
come
today,
out, like,
otherwise I
20
wouldn't
years
remember
ago?
this.
When did the movie come out?
I
It
think
doesn't matter when it came out, it's when it was a meme.
It's still a meme. And it always will be. 'Cause
And
it's
we
fun,
look it up on Google Trends, but the actual things from Google from 2012 if you're curious.
Okay, so
That's not what I mean when I say
But
it's
it's
dated.
timeless.
No one's talking about it.
Some stuff is timeless.
And you're saying this is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cares?
This is why we should only make jokes about Among Us.
Exactly. Yeah.
It has 2 spikes.
So Aldrea's being pretty
Yes, because
sus.
of Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
Wait, didn't he do a cover of it?
No,
No,
he
he
used
sampled
to
it.
sample.
Why would he do a
Down
cover
there.
of that?
I don't know. Kanye's a freaking weirdo.
When's Aldrea being sauce?
I don't know.
The
I was
whole
just
book.
making her Among Us.
Dude, she was being sus. Wait, let me write out
Yeah.
a part where she was being sus.
Write it out.
All right,
Put it up on the chalkboard.
Cassie says, "I will take back control of my speech centers now." Of course, Aldrea replies, "A better answer." And if she'd given it without hesitation, it would have been better still.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because I didn't know she hesitated. Because text is a form that doesn't communicate that very well.
Good writing. I don't know why I didn't write that down. Oh wait, it probably
Because
did.
you're being a negative Nancy.
You're a
No.
hater.
You were too busy molding the whole book about how things you didn't like.
I did write it down. I just screenshotted it, okay? And so it doesn't show up in my search.
Oh.
I like this part where Cassie's talking about how if Aldrea was in Rachel instead, Rachel would not have been intimidated like I am. She would have laid down the law. Do what I tell you or else. But then she thinks, oh, else what though? Because what can we really do to force her to get out? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, that is a good question.
There's
then Cassie,
no 3-day limit, anything like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
That's why it's scarier than a year.
Spider. At this point in the book, this happens in a few different books that I've been noticing, especially recently, where the narrator will be asking the same questions that I have in my head, and to me that's good writing, because for example, book 15 was the worst, where it was okay, why aren't they oh, this doesn't make sense, I should be thinking about something. Well, I like when the characters have the same concerns that I do. It's a lot more realistic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cassie's oh, else what will happen, and then Cassie's oh, had she picked me because I was an easy victim? Because that's why I was thinking that too. And, it's just, I like when that happens.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm stupid as them, I
Oh,
don't
you're
know.
not stupid. You're just a beautiful little baby.
Yeah,
sounds kinda
that's
stupid.
better, yeah.
The beautiful little babies aren't known for their intelligence.
Oh, I wonder what you guys thought about this scene with the chi.
Oh, I was on this scene actually, and I was thinking about it. Marco asks his chi to go out to ask a girl to go out on a date.
Because all the chi are replacing the animal. Did you already say that?
They're being, the chi are gonna replace the Animorphs in their lives for a few days since they're going to space.
Yeah.
Is there a famous piece of media that does that, but that we could compare it to?
Why?
Because we need to make a reference to something.
Yeah, stress regular reference.
No, I'm just thinking maybe we could use that as a word that means that, a word that means what's going on, it's a verb, but with the name of the media.
They're anamorphing.
Not sugar
No.
water. That's Anyway,
Searching
continue.
for sugar bear.
So I thought that was kind of funny. Later on, I think the Animorphs are dang, if we never go back, are the Chi just gonna have to live out the rest of our lives for us, or what?
Well, and don't they say something? Doesn't Cassie say something? Where she's
I don't want to have someone else live me.
no,
Just
doesn't she say hey,
But right before they leave, they're hey, if we die,
yeah,
just
die for us? or
just
something?
find a way
What
to
did they say?
die.
find a way to die.
I'm sure the Chi can do that. They're good at stuff like that.
Well, yeah, they've done it. They've each done it thousands of times.
I thought that was cool that they were they were oh, we might die here.
Yeah, a chilling moment.
I like the joke Rachel makes when Marco asks to ask a girl out, and then Rachel's wouldn't she be disappointed when she goes out with the real you?
Yeah.
That was
Very
funny.
good.
Rachel made me smile. And then at one point, I think it's during this conversation, Aldrea's you guys are all such children, and I thought I liked that.
I wrote, yeah, Jesus, sorry for being children, I guess, asshole. And then she says,
Mustard's that was nice, Smiley. Batter's yeah, Jesus, sorry for being a kid.
listen. You're gonna
Listen,
laugh
you
even harder when
ass.
you hear my next note. Somebody says, actually, we're not much younger than you and Decamy when you fought the Yeerks. And then the narration says, I got the strong feeling that she didn't appreciate the comparison. And I was fuck off, ho, my guy, granny ass bitch reincarnated just so she can be racist to the new characters. I can't believe I hate her more in this book than I did in the Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
You're all such children. Actually, okay, sorry, never mind. I'm just racist.
I thought it was a cool character moment that shows how she's different from the Animorphs.
Yeah, because she hates them.
Yeah. The Animorphs don't hate themselves sometimes.
He died yesterday, and I was not with him. I did not hold his hand and tell him I loved him. Maybe in reality, but not in my memory.
Wait,
which is
I
all the
wanted
truth
to
I
actually
have.
also point out what Rachel
You already
said.
read that.
Yeah, also I already read that.
2 hours ago.
Well, I didn't hear it because I was too busy molding, I guess.
Yeah, this is the Be Natural Maulding episode.
Rachel's other Eric said, right after that note, Eric says, "Any other instructions?" And Rachel says, "Ask whoever is me not to be so nice to my sisters this time. They get to expecting it."
That's great. Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, that she would do that.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you'd think like living like
I like
thousands
it when
of
the books
lifetimes.
reference other things that are happening in the Animorphs' lives.
Yeah, you'd think like after thousands of lifetimes, you too would get like tired of like doing like stupid like little bickerings with people. Like you think like maybe like the Chi are just acting out like the most like chill people you know. That wouldn't surprise me. Eric seems pretty chill. Like Eric's persona in school or whatever.
Well,
seems
they're
very
usually
chill.
acting out like actual other people, right? This is the only time they ever do that, isn't it?
Oh well,
Normally
they don't like
I assume
replace
they just,
other
like,
human
Yeah.
beings. They just they become. I mean, they are
Yeah, they
actual
become-
people like with social security numbers.
Yeah, so they
and
just become
everything.
chill people. Like they're not like.
I'm just saying, like I imagine that the
Hey,
people
guys,
that the Chi play.
I don't
Did
think
she
I-
have to pretend to be a newborn baby? And if so,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be really hard for them to do?
No,
Well,
because
Or
like,
do
I
they
was
all
just
just
thinking
pretend that they
something
were
to say,
home
what
birthed
was
or
it?
like immigrated from another country? Or
What
something?
if, what if the Chi like just find people who died like around the time that they were old enough to start looking like Chi sized, and then they replace those people?
yeah,
That's what we just said. Well, I thought we decided that they didn't.
I
do
didn't
that.
assume that they have to do newborn. They just like call people and like, oh, hello, I just moved in here last week from
where?
From
I guess this would get
Midwest,
harder as
from
time
Colorado.
progresses and people track stuff more.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's
I
definitely
wonder if
possible.
that's something that the
Wait,
Chi
maybe
have to deal with.
maybe the Chi. Well, wait, Eric's dad is also a Chi, so I bet they just like use holograms to project babies and children, and like they're they're like,
and like
oh,
make
I'm
it part of the
homeschooled.
dad's hologram and not like part of the.
Yeah, they can project like a lot of
And then
stuff
the other
that's
Chi would
outside of
just hide.
themselves. Yeah, the other Chi's like still being an old man somewhere else, and then like by after 10 years of projecting like he can just be like, oh, I'm homeschooling my son. Here he is, every so often.
Yeah.
And then often enough to be like, because it doesn't seem hard for them to project holograms outside of themselves and force fields too. So maybe they just do that until the other Chi is like old, until the hologram is old enough for the other Chi to be inside of it, and then the other Chi is like, okay, peace out. My guy's dead now, and I'm now a 10-year-old.
What did we talk about right
It
before
would
the
be
sibling
so cool
stuff?
to be a Chi and get to live out like a million different lives
It would be cool, but
and see like a million different like the progression of technology and stuff, and not have to worry about like disease and whatnot.
that would be cool. Also, like, man, you just get like so
You
tired
get so
of
tired of it
certain
after a while.
things.
I mean, some Chi probably just like chill out in the basement though, right?
Yeah, that's probably true. You probably take a break.
Yeah.
What were we talking about right before we talked about the Rachel sibling stuff? Like, what is going on before
Although you
that?
have to remember literally every single thing that ever happened to you.
If you
Apparently,
were playing Garfield card, maybe you remember.
Like,
Right?
I know, I
robots,
wouldn't remember
sometimes they have
anyway.
like a really easy way of doing that.
I'm not saying it'd be hard.
I know,
like,
I'm trying to
physically.
remember
I'm
like
just
what I was
saying,
thinking
like,
of saying.
if anything bad happens to
forget
you,
what I
you
was
just
trying
have
to
to
say.
remember that forever. Like in book
That's
10.
why I have the
Oh,
notes
like,
out, so
oh
I can
no,
look at
my-
them.
Yeah, well, if I had notes, I'd
I did
do
said
that.
something cringe.
Oh no, I said you two to that waiter when she told me to enjoy my food.
Yeah, gotta remember that forever.
Guys, what's the topic
2000
right
BC.
before this?
I don't know.
Like, okay, what did we say like right before? Like,
We're talking
Rachel's
about something new.
siblings?
Pick a new topic.
But no, I'm trying to think. I was saying something that was like a good topic.
Oh,
I was like the first thing I thought of to say on this episode.
oops.
What was it though?
We were
Is it
talking
related
about
to
how
Chi?
Aldrea and Dak never got to say goodbye in Aldrea's
No, that's the thing you already read.
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about just before the Chi, though.
Well, before we mentioned Chi at all.
Do you guys not like think of something to say and then like immediately forget about it and then be like, shoot,
That's
what
probably
was
why I
it?
interrupt
No, we
people
do
so
that.
much.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
And why does Jake insist that the Animorphs have been in more battles than Aldrea and Dak? I'm a bit confused about
Yeah,
the
that's kind of
timeline here.
silly.
Because didn't Aldrea and Dak fight long enough? They were kids when they started, and then they grew up, and then they raised a whole nother kid in the time that they were fighting. So how exactly have the Animorphs been fighting longer than them?
I think the Animorphs are just trying to. I just remembered what it was.
What was it?
It was not violent to Animorphs.
Okay, great. So you had this good topic. That was a good discussion about this book.
Well, I didn't say I was a good discussion about this book. I just said it was something.
What was
interesting.
it?
I like how, because of Kevin's use of the word, to me, molding has like a connotation of like the person wasn't actually mad. Someone else is just saying they're mad.
It's a useful word. Another thing about the chi. Eric says, "How about wait?"
Kevin doesn't mean to use it like that.
Marco says, "I need a makeup paper on some great figure from American history. It's kind of due the day after tomorrow." And Eric replies, "How about Franklin Roosevelt? I was the White House butler during his administration. I was the one who came up with the phrase New Deal. Of course, it was during a poker game." Classic chi moment. Nothing good can exist in this universe unless it came from an alien.
I was always wondering where he got the name Han Solo from.
The Pemalites invented socialism.
Nice.
They went to Karl Marx and was like, "Hey, do this."
Karl Marx was a chi.
I named
So
my dog.
I'm confused about this Andalite fighting space scene because the Andalite just doesn't question why there's another undercover Andalite that he didn't know about. Because like by the end of it, they like convince the Andalite that they're another undercover Andalite, right?
Yeah.
But the Andalite just I guess leaves and.
Wait, why do you assume the Andalite was undercover? What are you talking about? Wasn't it just an Andalite ship, but the animals?
Oh yeah,
from
that
the
was an
ship
issue that I
was
took with
taken?
your summary, but I wasn't gonna bring it up because it's a summary thing. That's not important.
Yeah, unlike Mustard, who brings up every summary thing that's not important and tries to insert it into the summary.
What I was trying to bring was like the relevant plot points of the book. Like, okay, it's important to bring this up in a way that it is clear what is going on.
You'll be like,
Can you
"Oh
just-
no, he didn't."
Can Vader just say the thing?
Yeah,
that
say
he was
the
gonna
thing,
say?
please.
I could be like,
still don't
He
care
the
about-
hero of it, not me.
Shut the fuck up with this summary bickering. I don't fucking care anymore.
I could be like, "Oh yeah, then."
Shut up, Batter!
What is better?
Yes.
I was just agreeing with what you said.
Yeah.
I don't think the Andalite ship was undercover. I think it was just there.
Yeah,
okay, but regardless of whether or not it's undercover, should it not? Why does he not question?
Question what?
Maybe if you let me continue the sentence, I'll say. It's
Yeah.
almost like, why would I say a sentence that's, why would he not question? What?
What kind of money?
Question what? Question what, Denny? Why would he not question that?
Do you hear my big problem verse? Did you listen to my big problem verse?
Why would he?
Yeah,
not?
wait, did you hear his big problem verse?
No. So
Anyway.
don't talk about it right now. But-
Wait for the dilated pipes.
So, like, regardless of whether or not the Andalite is undercover, why does he, okay, so they convince him that they're another undercover Andalite. Why does he not question why there's another undercover Andalite there that he did not know about? Would the Andalites not tell him that there's an undercover Andalite there and maybe tell him, like, where it's going to be and what ship it's going to be in? Why would he just be like, I guess there's another undercover
Why does
Andalite
any of
that I
that
almost
matter?
killed?
I think he's just glad
Does
to
he
be
know
alive.
that-
Yeah, that's what I was
Andalites-
thinking. He's like, oh, I'm alive. I'm getting out of here now. Why would he? What he messaged? Oh, hey guys, what's up? Like, what do you mean? Why
They
question?
just
Why
act- well,
question? Why
they
is that
act like
important?
they and the Andalite are now BFFs, and the Andalite is like
No, what?
certain
No.
that they're undercover.
No, you
Yes,
like
because
out of
they
your
were
mind.
shooting at the Yeerk ships, and then that enough time for him to get away and not die like he was almost about to. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't care about this scene anyway, so never mind.
I think it's neat how Andalite ships have Dracon, or like their weapons cannons hook over the top of the ship like a raised tail blade.
I didn't notice. I'm so bad at like when a book describes something physically to me, like remembering what it looks like. I'm awful.
Well, we saw you on drawing.
Yeah.
And also, like, Jake can't, like, comfort Cassie without saying anything to Aldrea.
Yeah. There's a part where like Cassie's like, oh, I want to hurry up and get in the ship as soon as possible because the sooner we get this done, the sooner we can start the mission, the sooner I can finally have control of my body again. Like it was, and Aldrea also is like, oh, I want to be in a Hork-Bajir body again. Like they neither of them are very happy with this situation, you know.
Yeah.
Which is why I think makes the conflict so interesting.
So like chapter 17, they immediately like pretty much the second chapter where they're actually on the Hork-Bajir planet, and Aldrea is already like, okay, like before this. She, like, didn't want to go to the Hork-Bajir planet until Toby also wanted to go. And now she's, like, on the planet, and she's, like, so set on staying on the planet forever.
Well, yeah,
that she's
that's
like,
happened
what
to
if
this
Cassie
unit.
stays here? It just is, like, she flip-flops all over the place. Like,
Well, because you
Because now
see
she's
something
seen her
now.
home and she wants to be here.
Yes,
different.
hearing about something and seeing something.
She heard that the whole Hork-Bajir planet was like taken over and destroyed by the Yeerks, and she's like, I don't know if I want to relive that. But now
Her
that she's here-
reasoning seems shallow. There's like one paragraph where she's like,
I
"Oh,
disagree.
it's sad that the planet is bad and everything is gone." And then that's it. And then it's just like, well, now I want to stay
Well,
here.
because to her, like, she was literally, like, just there, like, the previous
Well,
day.
then why didn't she want to go back before? Why didn't she want to go back this whole time? Why was there a part where she was like, nah, I'm good, let's
That's
just
how
stay
things
back.
work. That's how wanting to do stuff works.
She was just, like,
sometimes
there,
I'm like, hey, Batter, do you want to play this game? And he's like, nah. And then like he likes it more than anyone else.
Well, it just,
Yeah.
okay, this is not like that. This just feels
I disagree
Cassie
with
is
all
being
of your
held
complaints about this
hostage
book.
by some kind of like movie mental patient where they just like are crazy in situations where it's convenient to the plot.
Yeah, I just don't agree with that. I had no confusion about any of that happening.
Like your reasoning is like, well, sometimes people change their mind. In a story, but people change their mind for reasons. And
I don't think I really noticed that she changed her mind. Honestly, I wasn't very invested in like the motivations. I was far more captured by just the internal conflict going on throughout the book.
Yeah, she's very conflicted. Conflicted people flip flop.
Yeah, like she even like I feel like throughout the book she's very clearly conflicted about like, okay, should like, she doesn't say this outright, but I interpret it as throughout the whole book she's conflicted about whether or not she will actually be an a-hole and just keep control of Cassie's body, or if she will willingly leave, because like that's a weird scenario to be in, and like both the people recognize that.
it just comes across like she's just unstable, and that's all there is to her, and she doesn't know what she wants, and she just makes up her mind at random moments in the plot, and it's like time to base the rest of my species and my own life off of how I feel in this exact moment, and nothing really led to this. It just kind of is how I feel at this moment for no reason.
I didn't get that. I don't know what to tell you.
I like how she says, I saw the planet of the Hork-Bajir as a Hork-Bajir. I was truly home, myself once more. Not a female, a male, but that was irrelevant. But then, like, Quaff, earlier in the movie, the book, Quaffet Genevin was like, she'll definitely want to be in a female, even if it's not the same species. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because then she's like, well, I'm a Hork-Bajir now.
Yeah, I'm the same species now.
I don't give a fuck about my genitals.
Well, I guess she wants to be.
Number of horns.
I guess she either wants to be like the same species and or the same gender, but not the wrong of both.
I guess so. It's kind of
it's
kind of funny that gender is something that is apparently like consistent across species in the Animorphs universe. Like a female,
it's not for Yeerks.
a female. Yeah, I know, but like a female
That's why Yeerks are
human,
the best.
a female human and a female Hork-Bajir are like similar in some way that a male Hork-Bajir and a female human are not.
Yeah, it's a little bit
somehow.
bio-essentialist, gender essentialist, whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's expected obviously
you know
from
what?
any kind of more.
I don't think that's
light
really a
sci-fi
good
thing.
criticism of this book. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's not
It's
criticism of
okay.
the
I'm not
book.
molding this time. I'm just making
No,
an
you're molding.
observation.
It's
No.
It's
Okay.
interesting. Like, interesting reflection of, like, the time when this book came out.
I mean, not that stuff that comes out today wouldn't do this. I don't think it's just interesting, I guess.
Yeah, interesting to mold after
I mean,
you.
also this is a series where every alien species has the same like chemical basis of DNA. So like like artistic license it's fine.
Right.
How does it look, Tobias? Jake asked. I don't see any Hork-Bajir or anything else except some small, fuzzy, monkey-looking things. Chadu, I said. Whatever.
He should have said, I didn't sneeze.
It seems out of character for Tobias to say whatever to, like, a Hork-Bajir animal. Like, it seems like him being a jerk to Aldrea because she's weird and everyone hates her, but I don't know why.
They're very suspicious of her because she said things that indicate
But
that she
she's
may
just
not
saying-
leave Cassie's body.
She's just saying the name of an animal on her planet, and he's like, whatever. Like, he's the one who's supposed to like the Hork-Bajir, and this is her being like a Hork-Bajir here, and he's like, I can't tell if the author is just trying to tell me that Tobias hates Aldrea, or if he doesn't care about Hork-Bajir stuff.
I don't know if the author really thought about this.
I was never bothered by
It
any
might
of
be.
these
It might be a thing
characters.
where the author just doesn't know the character all that
Yeah,
well.
and that bothers me, because that's important to me.
Mhm.
I don't know. To me, this just was like.
Especially because Tobias is the one who's supposed to be like the most connected to the Hork-Bajir.
Okay, see, this is kind of like in book 19 where the animals are kind of really stupid in the second half of the book, where it's like, I honestly don't care that much because this is a book about Cassie.
No, they aren't stupid.
The Animorphs were stupid in
The
book
Animorphs
19?
are not stupid.
In
the
book,
second half
if
of
I
book
recall,
19.
in book 19 there was a scene where they were being kind of stupid.
Distrustful of
Yes.
Cassie because she was trusting a Yeerk.
Yes, stuff
That,
like
that was totally fine.
They were acting completely.
Do I need to listen to the
logically.
episode again and see what
If
we
you
said
want
about
to.
it? Because I recall them being stupid. And I
I-
guess I won't detail, but I just, regardless of that, I was trying to say.
They were being frustrating from our perspective as readers. That's why that book was so good. They were being frustrating from our perspective as readers, but acting very logically from what the information that they had.
Yeah.
But in this situation, Tobias is just out of character, or like the author is just not giving me sufficient information to understand why he's acting like this, and it's annoying.
Well, the reason I don't care is because to me this is a book about Cassie and Aldrea, and even though nothing else bothered me in the book and that I did find it enjoyable, I really did not care that much about the other stuff happening.
Well, I care about Toby. I want Toby to thrive, moisturized, etc. But
In
this
my
book
lane.
just wants Toby to be...
Wait, was it Toby who said that?
No, that was
Okay.
Tobias.
That's what I thought.
This book wants... I'm just saying, like, you said this. You like this book for Aldrea and Cassie, and I'm saying there are things about this book that aren't that bother me. For example, Toby is just a prop, and they don't respect her. Not even and Cassie doesn't even like call anyone out on that, and even in her own internal narration, which is weird to me, and just strange. And it comes across like the author didn't think about it,
Yeah.
and doesn't think of Toby as a person, which is sad.
I like this part of the narration where Aldrea says, I looked and suddenly I was glad that Cassie had control of my body. And I just thought, I was like, oh, she said my body. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some very subtle narration stuff, like indicating ownership, and there's moments like that where I feel like it changes throughout the book sometimes. I thought it was interesting. By the way, she said my body, Stuart. Did you hear that? Indicating that she is sharing the body.
No, but it's because she got used to the mind.
I don't see how you can argue that she's not sharing the body.
Well, I
while you
wouldn't
also,
describe it as sharing the body.
while you're also saying that. Okay. Answer this. What would sharing the body be then? Can you give me what
God,
it would
I
be?
really
What is the
don't care
difference?
about
If
this.
you're
This is, like, the
not
most
sharing the
semantics
mind,
argument I've ever
How
heard.
would you share a body with someone without sharing the mind?
By
Tell
not,
me what
by
that is.
not
Hey,
being
guys,
in
tell
their,
me.
by not being in their
There's
head.
also another part, or like
Okay.
with Cassie and Aldrea, where like
You have two separate heads, but they don't.
Okay, I never said that to separate. I said that she. Okay.
Yeah, but that's when I think like someone has sharing a body. I think like two-headed like Cyclops.
Okay,
that's
you
sharing a body. Yeah. But this is like okay, they're literally in the same mind. That's a big difference.
But they're also
So
sharing.
every
We
time-
said they're sharing the mind,
No,
and then I also said they're sharing the body.
But
So
it's not. That's not how I describe
You know, your
it.
head is part of your body, right?
Yeah, when I
You're
say
in
body,
this-
I mean like your being, like your
like your
physical,
entire physical
body.
form.
Well, that's.
Like, I don't mean just like the torso. Like she doesn't have control over the toes because it's not part of her body.
I don't
Well, I
care.
do. That's what I do mean.
Okay, well that's you.
Well, but if I say she's sharing the head, the mind,
Why is
and
this
then
confusing?
also sharing the body, you can't
like-
say
I
no,
like
she's not,
how-
because they're showing both.
I like
Well, so she
how
kinda has a
the
she can, like,
experience
kind of
of
move the
Cassie
body
and
parts
Aldrea
sometimes.
sharing, whatever you want to call it, it kind of seems similar to the way I've seen people talk about dissociative identity disorder, where they're kind of like fighting over control and like co-fronting. So knowing that, there's an interesting part where the Hork-Bajir, right before they leave, the Hork-Bajir start chanting "Free or dead, free or dead," and like pounding their chests. And Cassie says, "My eyes begin to sting. I didn't know if it was my emotions or Aldrea's that caused the tears to form. In that moment, our feelings were almost identical.
Yeah, that was cool.
We thumped our hand against our chest. Free or dead," we shouted. And "we" is the only way I can describe this experience. I'm really not sure if it was my voice or hers that uttered the Hork-Bajir battle cry. In that moment, the wall between us was down. I like that she illustrates that by changing her pronoun to "we" instead of "me," as in Cassie, or "me and Aldrea" at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, but as we made our way to the ship's door, I felt Aldrea pull away from me, and I pulled away a little too. So they feel like a sort of kinship, in that they care about like the same basic like goal and stuff, but they each have their own motivations, and that like they each have their own things that they want to keep separate from each other. And in Aldrea's case, that kind of translate as her being sus,
Mm-hmm.
and in Cassie's case, we can kind of since we're Cassie, we know that it's mostly just like, oh, like what about my crush on Jake? What about like my own aspects of privacy that I want to keep to myself? And yeah, it's interesting.
And it just like there's a part where it's like well, in narration, Aldrea is like, I would make the Yeerks pay no matter what the cost. I sensed Cassie reading my emotions, listening for clues. I was being careless. I closed my mind to her and sealed off my emotions. Like, so, like, Aldrea is clearly thinking, like, she's being kind of, like, suspicious.
If she knows exactly how I feel in every instance, then she's not going to trust me or like me as much. Yeah, definitely.
But then in Cassie's narration, it says, I felt the wall inside me go up. In the next chapter, I believe, referring to this exact thing. I couldn't blame Aldrea. If the situation were reversed, I don't think I'd want to witness all the ways Earth had been violated by war and have some second person reading my first thoughts. This is because this is in reaction to her seeing the home world.
Yeah.
So like Cassie isn't actually sus of her at all, at least in this part here. Like she's not really listening for clues like Aldrea. Like there's a mutual like mistrust that it kind of flip flops and.
But yeah,
how
it's not
presented.
necessarily a bad thing as it's portrayed in the narrative either.
No. It's
more just like leaning into the horror of like having to share a body with somebody.
Yeah,
else.
it's very cool. The imagery of like that there was a literal wall between Cassie and Aldrea that comes back throughout the book where Cassie's like, oh, suddenly there was a wall between us and I couldn't read her thoughts at all.
I like the wall. There are a few instances where the wall comes down too, and then they kind of mesh.
All right, so they do find the weapons that Aldrea lied but didn't really about knowing where they are, and the weapons are like in a tree, and the Yeerks cut down the tree but they happened to cut at the part of the tree where the like so they cut down so that they didn't find the weapons, but they cut around them, and then they used the container that they now have that has the weapons inside it as to build a dam into which they build a Yeerk pool. I'm very confused at how this works. Like, where are they? They hid the weapons in a tree.
It's really hard for me to mentally picture this scene.
I guess
listen. That's me with like every single like physical description, so that didn't throw me off at all.
Yeah, I guess there was like a small hollow pocket in the tree.
It had a hidden
and the tree had been hollowed out.
Right, and then they cut the tree, but it was solid most of the tree. So like, I guess they cut a long section of the tree that happened, but they Aldrea and Dak wrote like A+D forever XOXO super secret weapons in here on the thing, and the Yeerks like didn't notice that for 30 years.
Well, aren't they using like a bunch of like million different trees to make, not a million, but they're using a bunch of different trees to make
but
things.
don't they see it from a distance? Maybe I should check.
They don't write XO weapons here, doesn't it just say like D plus A?
Well, yeah, but that's still like
it's a sus.
That's not. No, it's not.
It's just tree graffiti.
It's
kind
of funny, you guys.
I don't think the Yeerks are assuming that I don't know. I just don't think they'll be looking for freaking clues on trees on wood.
So there's not really a clue.
Like they're not going to want to open it. They have the Yeerk pool there. Like they're not. I feel like they're not. They wouldn't even be that concerned about a bunch.
I don't
of
think
weapons.
that's a clue. I think that's just like
they probably already have anyway.
They just wrote like I heart Jake. You know?
Yeah, wasn't it like
there's a bunch of trees that have similar messages on them, so it's meaningless.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question about Zero Space.
Yes.
How's it work?
You go in zero space and then you
translation into Zero Space X told us we should emerge somewhere in the galaxy of the Hork-Bajir planet, depending on the current configuration of Zero Space.
That was weird.
What does that mean?
Well, like, okay,
explain.
Zero space is like those tubes where you go like this, and then it goes like, and then you turn it and it goes.
Wait. So it's exactly like roll and tip and whatever it's called, rotate and roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they need to wait for the player of rotate and roll to rotate zero space around for them to like fall towards the correct area.
Oh.
But depending on how good the player is at it, they might go like.
Wait, is this like an actual discussion? You guys like making fun of something?
Or they might go like, what's the winning sound again? Like.
It was interesting that it seems like when you're using zero space, you don't know exactly where you're going to come out.
Well, it's like sailing. It's like sailing.
Yeah, it's like sailing better.
Well, they're also going so fast. Like, you can't.
Sailing depends on the current configuration of the ocean.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally, yes. What do you mean? You have to pay attention to the current. You have to pay attention to the wind. You have to pay attention to the stars.
Okay. That's not what I meant by current configuration. That's not how I interpreted it in the.
Well, then you have to explain to me how you did it, because
As
this is confusing.
Is it like the current configuration of zero space?
Okay,
like,
honestly, I took
like
this...
is the ocean shaped differently sometimes?
Yeah.
That's what the currents are.
I took this to mean this is something that Capelgate doesn't feel like explaining right now, and she just says
no,
that.
That's true, yeah.
They don't know how it works. It's not
true.
real. They don't. This is like. These
But
are
it is interesting to me that they do not have a way of accurately predicting exactly where they can come out. They're like, oh yeah, hopefully we'll be somewhere in the Hork-Bajir home planet from zero space.
I mean, yeah, it's like sailing.
Yep, just like sailing.
Yeah. I think sailing's a pretty good comparator.
When is the lava? Is that before this happens?
No, wait. Okay.
I have a note in chapter 16.
No, hold on. Totally.
It's not like when you go in the ocean, you're like, oh, we might end up someplace near where we're trying to get.
Well,
No,
yeah,
we'll
neither
just
is
steer
yours.
towards where we're trying to
Okay,
get.
but
Well,
you know,
the Analytes just aren't as good at navigating as we are at navigating the oceans.
So it's not a good comparison.
Well, no, if you're on like an old boat, yes, it is like that.
What?
If it's like...
If you don't have
I'm
a
talking-
sextant...
I think my metaphor was way better.
I'm talking sailing as in like...
Yeah,
you kind of
I
use
like
those
I don't know what the
Andrew's
heck your metaphor was
metaphor
about, though. Or...
I'm not saying like, oh,
I
well,
said it was
you know,
like those
the
tubes.
current goes someplace. That means the ocean is a different configuration. That's not how I meant.
All right.
Well, then
okay,
what did
let's
they
Is
do
there
mean?
that.
like
I'm
a big?
confused about
Is
what
there a
sh-
big like? Is there like a big like pocket of wind blowing in zero space that'll blow them towards the Hork-Bajir planet?
No. Imagine that zero space is just shaped like whatever it wants any day. Sometimes it's shaped like...
Exactly. When I say the ocean is shaped differently, I'm like, okay, so is the Pacific Ocean a circle or is it designed
Well,
to
I
be
mean,
a line or a square someday?
Zero-
No, if it was
space-
drastically different, then they wouldn't end up anywhere near the Hork-Bajir planet. But obviously, they knew they're still going to be around us. So it's not different. It's not. I wouldn't assume it's drastically different. They still end up on the right planet over like light year travel. Like,
All right.
like
guys,
relative to how big
I
an
have
ocean
some
is, it's
big
probably the
brain
same
into
like
this.
margin
So it's like
of
if
error.
you're
They
traveling
have
across the
literally
ocean really,
described
really, really
zero
fast.
space.
No,
Here.
it's like
And
no.
you couldn't steer.
Guys,
Yes, like
They can
okay.
can I please explain
The
this?
size of an ocean
Please.
and the
I'm
margin
gonna
of
listen
error.
to our war prince.
Please.
Can I say one thing?
What? No, your thing is gonna be like 5 minutes. You've
No,
been
it's not. It's
talking
not. It's
for
gonna be like
5
it's gonna be like
minutes.
10 seconds. The size of the ocean relative to the margin of error
Like the
where
ocean above our heads.
compared to the margin of error of where you're gonna land is probably about similar to the distance that they're traveling in zero space and the margin of error of where they're gonna land with that. Like they still know they're gonna be on the right planet,
True.
but the distance is so far.
All right, listen.
That's kind
So-
of what I
so
was getting at.
They
with
have
the
literally
speed thing.
described zero space as you can in regular space you can go from one point to the other like this, but really space is like a sphere and zero space is like what's in the inside of the sphere, and so if you just usually you're going like this around the sphere, around the surface, but if you just punch through, you can you're going in a straighter line, you can go faster.
So it's like going through the center of the Earth to get to China.
Exactly.
Instead of
Now
going
imagine that
across
the Earth
surface.
changes shape and can be like a cylinder sometimes, or like a sphere, or like more of a elliptical shape sometimes. And so you could know, you always have the same direction to go to get to China, but depending on the configuration of the Earth, you might end up a little bit off.
Okay. See, that's why I meant by like the changing configuration of zero space, like the way
Well,
the
see, I
changing
didn't know
configuration
what
of
they
the
meant in
ocean.
the book by changing configuration of zero space. So
Neither does
Not like,
Melinda
oh, I
Ness.
forgot that stars don't exist.
What?
I forgot that there's wind. That means the ocean is a changing
Well,
configuration.
no, I'm just like, okay, it's a very complicated thing. I'm just gonna simplify it and then forget about the
Navigating in the
complicated
ocean is
stuff.
very complicated and difficult. Like it's not like super easy.
Okay, but it's difficult in a different way.
It ain't easy.
So apparently
What chapter are you on?
I don't understand this, 20. I don't understand this at all, but the symbol that they carved onto the tree where the weapons are is the Hork-Bajir symbol for undying love. It sounds as if it contains the Andalite letters A and D as well. There are so many layers to that don't make sense. How are there Andalite letters A and D?
You might hear me run butthole naked.
How does it sound as if it contains that? How is it a Hork-Bajir symbol for a undying love that also contains Andalite letters? And if it contains Andalite letters, how did the Yeerks not notice that as being a little unusual?
I feel like the Yeerks might have known
It's like
that...
how graffiti can sometimes have like a bunch of different letters.
I think
on
the
one
Yeerks
letter.
may have known that this was Aldrea's house, I think, but they didn't know that there was a secret compartment that had weapons in it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that it's
Like,
small.
I don't know why they would assume that they would think there's a secret hatch there. I don't know
Yeah, like, just
why.
because you write graffiti on a tree
They,
doesn't
they,
mean
they are
anything.
more concerned about like, having this Yeerk pool and making it. Like,
You know,
because
like,
they're
they don't want to be
I
like the
guess if
U.S.
she's
Army
dead,
who's
they're
like, oh,
yeah.
now
Yeah.
that
I
toilet
guess
must be
the
really
weapons
important.
aren't worth that
Yeah,
much to the Yeerks
all this is
because
Yeerk weapons. Like, it's not like it's
they
not
have
like
a bunch of these weapons. I
Yeah.
guess they don't care that much. All right, whatever.
They care a lot more about making this Yeerk pool by chopping down like 100 trees or whatever.
Okay.
That's why I didn't question it. There's a part where
I don't know why I didn't.
They're like-
question
they're
it,
like-
I just wasn't
they're like
there.
walking down a staircase. They're walking down something. There's like lava down. I don't remember exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
I
one with
remember
the
this part from
orange-
10 years ago. Like, do not worry, Cassie. The lava will not hurt you. Oh, thanks, Axe. Yeah, if you fall, you're gonna burn to a crisp in the air well before you actually make contact with the ground.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's pretty great.
Chapter 25, Toby having no agency. Young Toby will lead them, the Andalite said. Toby had her back to us. She had been working with the Arn, learning from him. A strange couple, the last remnant of the race that made the Hork-Bajir to serve in simplicity and ignorance, and the living example of the Arn's failure. She was so like Dak when I first met him. Before the battles, before I had led Dak to serve the Andalite will. No, I said suddenly. No, Toby will not lead them. Her place is with her people on Earth. Some part of Dak and Ciro and me will survive to do something besides fighting a war. That's nice and all. But Toby, like, all she said in this book is like, yeah, going to Homeworld seems cool. And then, like, everybody's like, oh my god, she's gonna lead the future of her people. No, she's not. Like, okay, I thought she
Quit
was so
putting words
smart.
into
Like,
her mouth.
That's
maybe
how it
she
is when
should
you're a
have-
teenager.
Yeah, really. Like, it's just very weird. And it seemed like not self-aware with the way it was written. And then the whole thing with the end happens, and that's all my notes.
Just
Oh, I'm
do
still on chapter
the
20.
stir strat. Just give the benefit of doubt and assume everything's self-aware.
There was a part where Cassie.
Okay, I now love Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie 2022. Or whatever
No,
that-
just because it's self-aware doesn't mean it's good.
Make a story that's better in your head, and then say that that's what happened.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Denial. Cope.
Cassie says she was not alive unless she refused to return to oblivion. It occurred to me then for the first time that Aldrea could live through me if I permitted it.
Yeah, she should have done that. That would be kind of cool.
No, this was
No,
up to
it
me,
wouldn't.
was it?
What do you mean no it wouldn't?
She was alive
I
now.
don't like
in a way.
Aldrea. I don't want to read more about her. I want her to die.
You want her to die. That's very
Yeah.
selfish of you.
She's already dead. It doesn't matter.
She spoke and thought, well, she was alive in a way, as Cassie points out. She spoke and thought and felt and experienced and even learned she was alive, but only by my grace.
It's like that episode of Star Trek.
Oh my God!
Guys,
Was it my
this is
decision
literally
to
an
make?
abortion metaphor.
No, it's like that Star Trek episode.
Would I have to tell her when her
What,
time had
it
come
can't
to
be
return
both?
to nothingness?
No.
Was I going
this
to
is
be the
dumb
one to
thing.
kill Aldrea? The realization took my breath away. Aldrea felt my emotions. What's the matter? I couldn't answer. What could I say?
Guys, this is like in that one Marilyn Monroe documentary where she hears her unborn baby crying, "Mommy, please don't kill me."
What are you talking about?
That actually happened in the weird pro-life Marilyn Monroe documentary. By the way, just pretty sure Marilyn Monroe.
Blonde?
What?
You talking about Blonde?
Yes.
I don't think that's not a documentary.
Movie about Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I was
Obviously,
still-
it's not a documentary.
It's about her life, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Biopic.
Biopic.
I'm sick of biopics. I don't even
Sorry,
watch
what
the
were you
ICP
actually trying to say about
documentary.
that quote?
I'm just trying to read this cool quote, and you people keep talking over it.
That's this whole podcast.
geez,
people
I wonder
talking
what
over
that's
each other.
Yeah.
If I'd realized before I accepted the Ixala, I'd never agreed to go along. It was impossible. It was immoral.
It's the Ixala. Is the
Aldrea was alive, and if she died again, if she ceased to exist, it would come to my own from my own selfishness. At
You
some,
can't be talking like that, Cassie. It's your body, your choice.
Aldrea's
If
spirit
I'd
had
known
sensed
this,
the
I never
weakness
would have
in me.
accepted the semen.
I would have never had sex with Jake.
Okay, guys, fine. Moving on. I'll cut
Aldrea's
this all
their
out.
child.
I'm sorry. Was there more you were going to read?
She had the reason Cassie's speculating that the reason she was chosen for the Ixala is because she knew that Cassie would not demand her death.
Yeah.
Well, which is interesting because wasn't
Cassie's a
Cassie
weak link.
like the one who like planned David's death basically?
Yeah, very
Oh.
conflicted about it, and she only did that because like she was the one who would be able to predict how David would.
But I
act.
guess that wasn't like okay. Part of why I think it's so interesting because Aldrea is not a threat here. Like David was very clearly a threat, and they had to stop him.
she's a threat.
Exactly.
No,
So-
she's not
So
a threat.
this is why Cassie feels more like because the only thing that's at stake is Cassie's bodily autonomy, and
Yeah.
you know Cassie doesn't care about that as much as like protecting other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like Aldrea,
Yeah, it's like having-
living in Cassie is not a direct threat to the Animorph's safety, you know.
Yeah.
Which is it's it's a very interesting like conflict, I think, because like neither person is really like in the wrong here. I feel like.
Yeah, it's a dilemma.
And then that's when what this book is interesting. Like I just this whole book I think is, and this like you said this is only chapter 7. This stuff keeps coming back throughout the whole book, like.
Pretty much here, and then in chapter 7, and then like
I've been reading stuff throughout the book.
A few other times, and
well,
listen,
they don't want to say it on every single
this
page.
is the problem. It just keeps discussing this as like a concept, but Aldrea as a character, I feel, does not hold it up enough. Like she does not feel like a real person. That's the thing. Like this whole book is like, wow, she's such a real person. But Aldrea doesn't feel like a person here. She just feels like a series of reactions to things.
I guess I disagree with that.
Isn't that
I'm sorry.
what else is a person?
I mean, okay, technically, yeah, that's what a person is. But I'm
no,
saying...
it's a miserable pile of secrets.
She feels too, like, simple, and, like, just like, oh, I feel this way very strongly. Oh, wait. Actually, I feel this way very strongly. Oops, now I'm in this location, so therefore I feel this way very strongly. She's just like a series of like
I didn't get that.
motivations, like, but like very simple and like straight and like flip-flopping motivations for unclear reasons.
I mean,
I just think the author struggled to write two characters and make them both believable.
Disagree.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wrong.
I guess this is like one of those things where I'm nitpicking in Tobias, actually.
Here's a moment where I really like Quaffaginavan. I've never heard of Yeerks using Arn hosts, Toby said. I understood the Arn spared themselves that by altering their own physiology. True, Seer, the Arn said. The Yeerks did not kill us in pursuit of hosts. It was a game, a sport. My people were exterminated, our culture destroyed because the Yeerks enjoyed using us for target practice. The Arn's voice held only an echo of a bitterness that must go very deep. Then the strange creature shuffled away. I have work to do. How can you not like that guy? He just seems so cool.
You know, maybe the reason that he can't duplicate the Arn is because the biology is a lot more complex than the Hork-Bajir.
Or maybe he just feels like it would be a sin or something.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Also,
there's a part where he said, "Oh, I will atone for the sins of my people." So that's interesting that he believes that his species has done wrong.
Would he
too.
say that if he was an evil person? No.
I feel like he doesn't.
If he was a liar, he might.
Okay,
come on.
They call him manipulative, like a manipulative species of liars.
I mean, I don't really know why.
Manipulative people
did they lie that much?
No, they don't.
Like all they did was they created the Hork-Bajir, and then they didn't say to the Hork-Bajir, "We created you." So like that's not lying. That's just like
that's just what you've seen.
That's just
dude. What the heck?
There's like 100 years of stuff you didn't see in between, like Hork-Bajir Chronicles and
liar?
So why would I just assume that they're evil?
I'm not.
Well, then that's what the Animorphs are doing.
Well, yeah, because they're stupid.
Okay, so we agree.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't really get what he did that was so manipulative. I mean, they kind of just assumed.
Okay, I'm not saying the Animorphs should think he's mean, but maybe, what's her name would.
Sure.
Aldrea.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like he wouldn't make more of himself because there's not really a point, you know? Like, what is he trying to... Like, what would he do with them? They would all just die. Their planet can't... The reason they created the Hork-Bajir is because their planet can't produce enough oxygen to support their population without the Hork-Bajir, like, taking care of the trees. So, if the Hork-Bajir's population doesn't look so good, he can't really create more of himself. So so at this point, he seems like he's just trying to save the Hork-Bajir.
I don't necessarily think it was a plot hole that he doesn't want to continue his own species.
The real plot hole is why didn't the Arn make some hosts for the Yeerks? Make some things that are like dumb, like dumb as cows, but have like, you know, Hork-Bajir bodies.
I mean, he thinks that's what a Hork-Bajir is.
Well, then do it even, make them, you know, there are like humans that are born without like frontal lobes or whatever, and they can like breathe and blink and stuff. They just can't think, and then they die because they don't eat and stuff. But like, just do that, but have a Yeerk go live in it, and then you're good.
So like a symbiotic relationship like this, Discord.
Yeah. Where it's not even sentient. It doesn't even have, like, its own thoughts. It just has a brainstem.
Sure.
Pretty much. It just has, like, the stuff needed for functioning.
But
they didn't do that. I mean, which is... I guess that's not... I mean, it's kind of a plot hole. It's not really.
What does he care?
It's not a plot
hole. I don't know.
Yeah, well...
Maybe that's a future goal for him. I don't know. He's alone. He's trying to build up the Hork-Bajir to make them free.
He's been like scavenging like parts from his broken
Maybe all the Arn died before they had a chance to do that. I don't know. They didn't. Yeah, they seemed to be taken off guard by the whole Yeerk thing that was happening. So
this is more of a criticism I had when I just thought that like the Yeerk's conquest was purely about like hosts and that's it. And
Well, that's what it seemed like at the beginning.
and I didn't understand that, like,
But
you know,
I mean, yeah,
but there's
clearly
a lot-
the Yeerk's just like being evil just for the sake
there's
of
a lot
being
more
evil.
there's
so.
a lot more to politics than like resources. There's also just like conquest and like, you know, supremacy
Yeah,
over
racism.
others. Yeah, like, you know, when I was reading these originally, I was like, why doesn't everyone just do the most logical thing in this situation here?
Right.
In my Ben Shapiro voice. But, you know, obviously, like, we're not.
Why don't the oranges sell their houses and move?
Yeah, sell the lava houses.
Yeah. So I mean,
And
it's not a plot hole. It was just
All right.
it was just the
Anyway,
basis of my
our
AU
dude,
fan
he
fiction.
was
Nothing,
mad-
no big deal. It's fine.
Our dude, he was mad about like the Yeerks killing his whole species, but at this point, he's like ready to move on. He's like a bitterness
He's a
that must
sad
go
man.
very deep, but he's not like gonna push that on the Hork-Bajir and humans that are surrounding him. He's like, I got work to do. Okay, this is how I'm coping.
Yeah.
He's coping. Okay, let him
yeah,
cope.
yeah, he's been like,
He's just a
well,
little
I'm the only
guy.
one left. I guess I'll just go back to my hobbies I did, like, when I had other people anyway.
Yeah, I think that's very admirable.
Can I say I don't want to get to it yet, but there's something I'm shocked you don't have notes on. I just want to say that.
I'm all done.
I know I'm shocked. I
Oh,
want to talk about the size of this Yeerk pool.
Why?
Because I just thought it was interesting. So
The size of
now
an average
these
human
narrators could be giving incorrect numbers here. But it's made of about 100 trees, and the trees are about
Big
five.
trees.
Yes, about 5 times bigger than the biggest trees on Earth. It says these trees are. And you think of redwood. What is it, like 50 feet at least wide? I think some of them.
I guess so. Yeah.
And then it
the
said
redwood tree is 10 feet tall. Remember?
Yeah.
Why is that what they said in Animal?
they said
Yeah, they
freaking
said the-
Hork-Bajir is the size of a redwood taxon.
The taxon is as thick around as a redwood tree,
And then it said
and also like 10 feet long.
Yeah.
and I remember it said it was made of 100 trees. I was like,
They're really chunky.
did they think about the actual size of this? This seems
They're
really
like a
big.
can of tuna in terms of their dimensions. They're just like flopping around. That is terrifying to imagine.
That is.
A can of tuna with like legs all around it, just going like flopping like over itself.
Well, it could roll.
Kind of like a
It's on the
freaking
side.
Jerry.
Oh, that's
and
scary.
Undertale.
Well, in this
Made of
case,
flesh and bug.
scary.
There are trees called redwoods that aren't like really, really
I know.
big
I
It's
think that
really
was the
funny that
conclusion
Capplegate
we
thought to
came, but-
reference those.
But
redwoods.
in this case, it does say the biggest trees on Earth, referring to
Okay,
redwoods.
sorry,
Right.
detour.
So 5 times bigger than the biggest trees on Earth. There's about 100 that making this pool, and they say someone guesses it's about 1 billion gallons of sludge in the pool, which is about I calculated 2,000 Olympic swimming pools, and that seems about right. I would think. Like you have 100 really big
Is
trees.
this what you were surprised you didn't have a note on?
About two, no.
Why
about-
does everyone use Olympic swimming pools as a measure? I've never been to an Olympic swimming pool.
Well, what other giant body of water do you know that you actually can see in one place?
It sounds
That's like
grand.
consistently sized.
Yeah.
It's like saying that sometimes as big as a football field.
Not an Olympics. I've seen this, but I've seen a football field.
Well, if you watch the Olympics like a true patriot, you'd see it.
Anyway, so all that made sense. Because at first I was like, is it really made of 100 of these trees? They remember how big these trees are, but then they say, oh, this is one of the biggest Yeerk pools in the galaxy. So that all makes sense. But then they say, this might be home to 10,000 Yeerks or more.
But
Now, that's not a lot. That is about 1 Yeerk per 100,000 gallons. So that is
It's a rural area.
yeah, very
This
not
It's Wyoming.
This is like the
it's
Russia,
Yeerk, Wyoming.
not a very efficient use of this. Because how many Yeerks were on like that ship? Wasn't there like 600 Yeerks in like a freaking like tiny tub like on a ship at one point? Like that is a massive. Because then I think later they even
There's
say
only like 100,000 Yeerks in the world, in the
Yeah.
universe, actually.
Yeah.
They should, they did say or more.
Yeah, that could mean
I mean,
a
some
lot
kids are
more,
really
like
bad at
100
it.
million.
with big numbers.
They're not really big Yeerks.
It's not- like I said, like obviously, like this is people estimating, guessing, but it was just comical to me how
I
That is
appreciate
funny.
with
I
the
didn't
numbers
think of
they
that at
gave,
all.
it is 1 Yeerk per 100,000 gallons of sludge.
I appreciate you doing the math here.
Yeah, thank you, Mustard.
How many like cubic like feet is that?
I didn't calculate that. But
Okay.
it's a
gallons.
I believe it's a cubic feet of the size of the 20 Olympic swimming pools.
I have another note of something that seems like the author overlooked.
Yes.
Isn't it Mother Deep or Father Deep in Mother Sky?
Yes.
What?
They wrote Father Sky.
Father Sky is another trans character in this book. I'm pretty sure didn't they say Mother Sky in this book, and then they said Father Sky later?
Maybe it's a family of sky people. Maybe do you think about that?
Father Sky is actually trans, and Father Sky and Father Deep are a gay couple. So.
It might be home to 10,000 Yeerks, even more. Might be home to 10,000.
There's honestly probably more than like 20 stars in the sky.
Scientists have calculated there might be as many as 24.
We need to talk about the thing they do with the well, because it is insane.
What? Who cares? It's just an action scene.
No, it is insane. I do not remember what happens.
I'm with Stir on this one.
Okay, once I talk about what happens, I guess.
Wait, what scene? The scene where they break in?
The scene where Cassie morphs into a bird, then starts demorphing,
and then they don't see that she's human. Like she morphs her wings while her tail is still a whale tail. That is crazy.
Yes, she is.
We've never seen them do this before.
Yeah, I don't know how this is insane to you. She has like angel. She's falling as a human with wings mid morph, and then
this is how they defeated the elite. This is the exact same thing.
No, she was completely human before she started morphing again.
She had bird wings as with a human from morphing back into a human.
She did that in the freaking graphic novel.
While keeping her wings from the bird morphed into a whale that had wings. That is insane. That is not happening. It was 3 different things there.
She's good at morphing.
She kept the wings from a previous morph.
Rachel did that when she was allergic.
That's different.
That's different.
Okay, well, it's clearly physically possible. And she just can't control it. And like most people can't do it, but Cassie's good at morphing.
This was an insane.
I'd say it's still a breakthrough.
I think it was cool, by the way. Like, it was just wild. I think it was one of the most insane thing.
And they can see her falling, but they don't realize
the imagery was very cool, because I just imagine like Cassie with like angel wings like falling and then like becoming a
angel mermaid.
It was very cool to me. Just I don't know, the fallen angel imagery, it just sounded cool in my head. And then she freaking kept the wings and morphed into a well, and then did some kind of weird thing, and everyone's like, Cassie's impossible. She's like, no, I think I can do it. And she did it. Yeah. I was like, that's just a thing she can do now. Keep part of one morph while unmorphed and morphing into another.
It's a good moment that justifies Cassie being the narrator of this book, because nobody else would have been able to do that.
Oh yeah, like there was a part where like as the narrator, Aldrea some other morphing scene where she's morphing really well, and Aldrea is like, oh, Cassie was trying to impress me and it was working. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
You guys are seriously not like, oh my gosh, she freaking kept wings while morphed from a previous morph and morphed through. That wasn't like crazy.
Well, it just seemed like something that you could do if you were good at morphing. It's not like she
can keep wings.
They didn't imply that she could just do that indefinitely or anything. Like, it was strictly on the way from one morph to the other. It wasn't like she could just go from human to being that.
You have to become human before you get a new morph.
And she made her legs human, then whale. But her arms were still wings. I mean, the fact that Rachel can do it...
Cassie?
No, Rachel can do it while being allergic means that it's something that's physically possible.
Okay, but the Andalites, or the Animorphs, have not been able to do it until now.
Yes, they're told you have to be completely turn into human before
including Cassie. She's never done it
This has been a rule that you have to turn into a human before you morph into something else.
They've broken lots of rules before.
She can do it.
Okay, I think it's cool that she's breaking another rule now. Sorry that I think something's cool.
How do you guys not think this is a breakthrough? Like, this is a new thing.
She broke a rule in the freaking whale book.
What do you want?
Okay, like, I'm not saying it's like stupid. I'm saying it's cool, but
I'm not saying it's a plot hole. I'm saying I was impressed.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's not that mind blowing.
Okay.
She's shown that. Okay, that's why if she really needed to, it's something she might be able to do. Because she obviously has way more.
That I had while reading Book 11.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying now. I thought you guys were saying that like the book didn't properly like establish that could happen or something like that. But
it kind of didn't really. But
she's got to get better at morphing.
It definitely implies that there is a rule that you have to become human.
When it said that she had to be a human before morphing into something else, it didn't seem to imply to me that that's a rule that could be broken. They're just not that good at morphing yet.
I mean,
well, okay. There was also a rule, like I was like, Oh,
Like,
once
this
you
is-
morph,
this is
you have to
the
like
book- this
wait
is-
like 20 minutes before you can again. Cassie like morphed
Well,
like 3
that's
different
because
things.
they were tired. There was no hard like reaction period.
Like, this is book 34. This is something that has never happened before.
They also said that
Okay, yeah, like okay,
they also
cool,
said that you
there's something
can't
neat, whatever,
you can't
Yeah.
control the order in which you morph things, and Cassie clearly can. So like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
she did
there are
that. She did
things
that
that-
in like book 4.
there are things that other people.
Had
But this
like
is
wings.
this
There are
is
things that
not
other people-
completely
She broke a
unmorphing.
rule one time.
She
now
didn't
she's breaking
unmorph.
another rule, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
she
have
did
never
shit,
seen
it's
someone
cool, but
not
I'm
be
just not that like mind blown by the fact that Cassie's better at morphing than the
No,
Andalites
listen, this is not being better at morphing.
because
This is-
then the Andalites thought possible.
This is every
because
single
she's done
book.
that like, lots of times.
This is every single book. We see 5 people morph 5 different times. Never once have they not been completely human before morphing into a different animal.
Exactly.
Not a
Yeah.
single time.
Okay, and
This
this
is a
time she was like, "Hey,
breakthrough.
let's do this," and she did it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but
It was
it's still
cool,
really
but-
hard.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just I just
Okay,
wasn't that,
listen,
like,
if she could do this the
mind-blown
whole
by it.
time, how come she never did it before,
It's
huh?
really hard.
She just
And no,
now.
she's the only one who can.
She's only now
obviously.
needed to do it, and it was very hard, and you know. She
Yeah,
she
and I
pretty
think
much,
that's
like,
very mind-blowing and impressive.
Okay, well, I don't know why you're acting like I'm mad at you. I'm sorry. I'm just like, okay, dude.
Okay,
She was a
sure.
melting, shifting thing with wide white wings and a whale's tail.
Jesus.
That sounds pretty cool. She was Jesus, yeah.
She just
Jesus
didn't
is a
have
whale.
Scientifically accurate cast. Not scientific, biblically.
Biblically accurate, Cassie.
I like that part of their plan is Tobias and Axe turn into Andalites and then start running, and then Marcos turns into a Hork-Bajir and pretends to be like a controller and yells, "Run, run, Andalites everywhere, thousands of them, run!" And it freaks out the guards. So
Yeah,
that they can
that was
buy time.
funny. Oh wait, you mentioned this in a summary briefly, but another part of this plan was that while she's a bird, the animals all morphed as bugs in her mouth, and then she morphs too well, and then while that happens, the animals all demorph and then morph into like battle morphs and jump out of the whale's mouth. There's a lot of stuff going. Why are you just smiling at me?
It's just silly.
It was
What?
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It's a wild plan. Like I remember, I was not very clear what the plan was before it happened, and I was like,
Yeah,
"What
like
is
when
going
they're
on?"
when they're saying
That's
that the
typically how this
entrance
goes.
to
Yeah.
the tree was underneath the water, I was like, no, how are they gonna do this?
This is like the only time in the whole
That's
series,
like
I think.
impossible.
I think it's the only time in the whole series. I guess David book was kind of cool too. Where like I don't know what the plan is, and they do it. I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool. That was like
Okay, that happens.
Sometimes they
that
have good
happens to-
plans,
that
and
happens
sometimes
to
they're
me
like, "Hey, let's turn the
that was
fish
this was like
slurped
sufficient.
up by the big straw."
This was like sufficiently like insane
and
and
all
well
5 of us
executed
go
for
get
the
slurped
build
up
up.
by the fish slaughtering straw.
Oh, sorry, Tobias. Looks like you can't get slurped up by the straw. That's too bad. If only you weren't stuck as a hog. Guess you'll have to wait outside.
Yeah.
That was like the stupidest thing ever. And they're like, "Oh no, it's not. It gets
Guys,
smaller."
it was
Doesn't
book
lead
3.
straight to the engine room with a big button that says blow the ship
You know
up?
what
What the heck, dude?
Would it have been as intriguing or realistic if they always made good plans every single time and it was always executed perfectly? No, come on.
No,
Book
but it's
3.
like it's just like sometimes they're really on their game, and sometimes
To
they're
be fair, that was
freaking
like 2
idiots.
days into the Animorph thing or something
That's
like
what I'm
that.
just saying.
You know, like
Yeah.
Cut them some slack. Holy
There's also an
It's
interesting
just
moment.
funny. Yeah, it's just funny.
There's an
That's
interesting-
ripped up by the fish
Okay, was that book
slicing
3?
straw.
Yes, that was
Just
book 3
imagine
and they
slurping
stormed
up-
over it.
slurping up a bunch of fish.
Yeah,
from
they've
a
gotten better
straw
plans
and being
since
like,
then.
"Hee, these are Animorphs.
There was an interesting part here where like
These are animals, really
Visitor 3
funny.
with a suspiciously 5 fish-shaped bumps on the
You would do that. Visit through the
Man,
suspiciously
Raven,
Alfangor shaped.
Visitor 3 wasn't in this book, was he?
No, he wasn't. I thought you guys were gonna like this book because Visitor 3 didn't show up.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for the next book. We get to see Visitor 3 again.
What's the next book?
I don't know. I just assume Visitor 3's in
Is
it
it Visitor
because
Chronicles?
he comes back in like every book.
No, it's the proposal.
Was anybody else
They
confused
married Visitor
when
3.
they actually find the
Yeah.
ship?
They all
And then-
5 marry him.
They actually find the ship, and then Aldrea says the code is code Mother Loves Zero.
Aw.
But then she says, X is like, you have no memory of this ship. How did you know the identification code? She says the number represents a logarithm of Zero's birth date. I've always used it. What number is she talking about?
No idea.
Because the code was 3 words.
Maybe this is another case where like the author wrote
I think
that
the
part.
author just changed
and then
something at the
filled in the
last
part.
second.
This is like okay. That's very similar to when it's like the letters sounded the letters written on the tree sounded like the Andalite letters.
Yeah.
Based
like you're
on
just combining
Tobias's
different-
description, who doesn't speak
Listen.
Andalite or Hork-Bajir.
You're like combining several
Hork-Bajir
senses that
have a
don't
more
make sense.
complicated unit of speech than we do. We're Andalites, and they're like, oh, sometimes the letters
Why do
and
they have
numbers.
letters
and...
if they use thought speak to communicate?
Oh, see, there you go. So the
Yeah.
letters and numbers are the same thing because they would have so few words.
You know, I always assumed that the reason the Andalite names were long and kind of hard to pronounce is because they're thought speak words names,
Right.
and therefore they don't actually take longer to say, like their full names. So that's why we say axe, but like
What?
Well, the Andalites don't call them axe; they call them aximili.
Why would that take less time to say though?
Because they are thought speaking, and so it takes less time to think a long word than to say a
You
long
don't
word.
like
I
stumble
don't know
over your
about
lips.
that. Oh.
I guess not. I wouldn't
Maybe
think
it
it'd be
takes
like
a little longer to
significantly.
think a long word than a short word, but it definitely is not the same difference as saying a short word and saying a long word.
I feel like I can say accidentally faster than I can, like, conceive it in my head.
Well, you're special, okay? You think that flossing with a stick is hard, but flossing with
It's like you adding a stick to it. There's a stick and a finger.
We are not having this conversation again. Well, you think playing Cat's Cradle in your mouth is easier than taking a freaking tool, you just grabbing two fingers and slice at it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Aldrea said, do you object, Brother Andalite? No, Sister Hork-Bajir, I do not.
When is that? What? Why'd you just name
I
it?
wrote hashtag growth. Because he grew.
That was
Axe's-
whipping. That wasn't nay-nay.
Axe's, Axe accepts Aldrea's Hork-Bajir
pronouns.
identity now.
Nice.
There's an interesting part with like Aldrea stuff where
No, there wasn't.
while Cassie's falling, like during that whole well fiasco, the whole time Aldrea is like yelling like, "Morph now! This isn't gonna work. Stop it!" Or like I forget exactly what's going on. And like she tries to control, and Cassie's like, "No, I got this." And then like stops her. And then after the whole thing happens, Aldrea is like, "I had lost. We fell towards certain death, plunging tail first in the Yeerk pool. And still all I could think of was that I had lost to a human child. I'd assumed the only question was one of self-restraint. I'd believed I could seize this body if I chose, but the little human female had held me at bay, even as she performed an act of morphing that would have made her a hero among the Andalites. No time to think about how she could have. No, there was a battle to fight."
Yeah.
I thought that was. She's still
Like,
very.
Aldrea was panicking, like, thinking they were gonna die and stuff.
Yeah. And then, like, after that, like, it seems like her main concern is, oh my gosh, I don't have as much control as I thought I did.
This little 12.
Aldrea is panicking, and Cassie is like, look what I'm planning.
And then, of course, after they fly away, Cassie's like, "Oh, all those Yeerks are dead now
Thousands.
because I broke the dam."
Oh, it says they die of. They, like,
Dying a
suffocate?
slow death of dehydration as the water left them stranded, or asphyxiation as they sank helpless into the mud.
Yeah, I didn't. So, do they need the water to.
They're like fish, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I
they
didn't
need the
No,
water.
but what? No, but they don't.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Well,
Just
there
they
was that
feel
one
like
Yeerk that was like wiggling around on the ground, and he seemed fine.
Oh, well, I guess the one
Yeah,
Yeerk escaped
they
into, like, a
Yeerk-
river.
They can
Oh, I
crawl,
guess so,
but
yeah.
I don't think there's much water around. To
Well,
get
So
to.
maybe it's just like a fish that's flopping around.
Well, I think they were dying of asphyxiation because it was implying that they, like, would be, like,
Well,
suffocated
Okay,
in
they're
the mud
suffocating
itself.
in the mud.
Yeah.
That's not the part that we're confused about.
Yeah, but they thirst. What does it say? Dehydration.
Dehydration as the water left them stranded.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was an issue for Yeerks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Interesting that
otherwise, why would they be in a pool?
Well, it's Kandrona pool.
Yeah, 'cause they don't have legs to, like, walk around, they don't swim around.
Freaking.
And the
You
control.
could just shine a light on them, though.
Interesting that it alternates between calling it like Grey's Yeerk sludge and water. I thought that was kind of a little bit strange. I mean, I prefer calling it water because I don't want to say sludge, but
Why?
it seems somewhat weird that they were consistent about that. But that was just that's not really
Aren't you gonna say
I thought it was
sludge,
interesting.
While ignoring the accusations.
Do you guys think it was unethical for the Arn to make the Hork-Bajir stupid when they could have made them smarter?
No.
I don't care that much.
Because the Animorphs sure seem to think so.
Ignorance is bliss.
They wanted to make them smarter. That's the Animorphs issue.
They're like, yeah, the Arn made them simple slaves, but the orange
Well,
screwed
there's
up, and some
slaves-
of them
there's
are
some
They're
smart.
happy.
slaves
They
who
seem to have a
love
happy
eating.
life.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see how
their
this makes
slave
the
work
orange...
is eating food. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
living-
I like
know,
eating.
like,
Yeah,
having-
living.
having a culture,
they
having
could
a
have
lot of
been
free
so
time,
much
having a
more horrible
community.
to the Hork-Bajir, but they decided to, and
They're not
happy.
really slaves. Like they're just
And
like
they're not slaves.
creatures that fulfill a function in an ecosystem, but they're not. They don't even know the Arn exist. Like they're not doing anything for them. Like
Exactly.
they're I mean, any more than like I don't know, bacteria are slaves to us because they synthesize nitrogen. Like okay, like
really?
they just do their thing.
Like, would it have been unethical if all the bacteria that synthesize nitrogen died and then we made more?
No.
No. Yeah, which is
Oh,
pretty
but
much
we
what
could have made
happened.
something smarter than a bacterium,
Why
so
don't we
we're
make
evil.
a sentient creature that has to do menial work? What?
Like, come on.
Now maybe yes, they are they've done many unethical things, like the way they treat the Hork-Bajir, like who shows up to them and he's like, oh, you suck, whatever. Like that's unethical.
Yeah.
But that's not unethical to just. I mean, like it's a science fiction scenario, obviously, but I don't think in a science fiction scenario it's unethical to like just create a race of creatures that you need to create in order to survive on your planet that has been hit by a meteor.
Okay. My last note that's not about just the endings we already talked about. It has been an honor, Aldrea. I still don't know why you Ixilla came to me, but it was an honor. Don't you know, even now, this is Aldrea talking, the Ixilla is drawn to a mind that reflects it, and I like to think even that inchoate? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, inchoate? I don't know.
Non-con-
I don't know that word.
Let me Google that.
Scholastic reading inventory word.
Yeah.
Inchoate. Just begun and not fully formed, rudimentary. Inchoate, non-conscious version of me was honorable enough to know that I might be tempted to cling to life, and that I might need someone strong enough to return me to the path of my own fate. Okay, what does any of that mean? Like, what does reflexit mean? What does strong enough to return me to the path of my own fate
cool
mean? It is kind of, like,
Cassie
it wraps
was
it
like,
up, but, like,
whoa,
okay.
maybe she chose me because I'm weak, and then it turns out she chose her because she's strong.
Yeah.
I know, but what did Cassie do throughout the book that put her in the direction of her realizing that she needs to die? Like, what did
Now, that's
Cassie
the
do
thing.
that would be different from any of the other animorphs? Like, she was tempted to cling to
This
life.
book has ideas,
and
it
then-
does not prop them up enough.
Like, nothing that Cassie did stopped her from being tempted to cling to life. Like, Aldrea just...
I guess just by
it seems
being...
like Aldrea just accepted her fate from seeing that everything
I guess just by
is
being
dead now.
Frisk from Undertale and being really passive and, like, agreeable in general. And
Like, none of that had anything to do with Cassie. Like, it wrapped it up
even
in
though
a
she
way
wasn't
that
even
was
that passive.
fine, but...
She was pretty assertive and cool in this book for,
Yeah.
more than I would expect.
It's just, it
She
seems
was like,
like...
okay, you get to stop talking now. No more taking control of me. That's an order.
You can shut up.
They wrote like a nice ending to the reasoning for
You
it
can
that
shut
just
up
sounds
now.
nice. It means nothing if you actually think about it, you know?
It doesn't... I mean, it can mean something. It just doesn't fit with the book.
No,
Yeah.
like Cassie did not do anything unique to her character that made Aldrea realize that she should die.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a
from what I see.
disappointment.
But it
This
didn't
book
ruin
is
it too
just
much for me.
unsatisfying.
To me, that was the biggest flaw that I noticed in the book. Was like, okay, these words they sound nice. This literally means nothing if you think about it.
Yeah.
But
I will say, I was thinking about giving it a meh. It definitely has its flaws, but I guess I just thought it was cool enough that it deserved a thumbs
that
up.
was probably my biggest issue with the book. But it didn't ruin it too much. I mean, because it was just like,
Well, my biggest issue
Weird.
was when it forgot its own plot points.
I mean, this is an example of it getting its own plot points. It's acting like there were plot points that didn't exist. Cassie did nothing to influence Aldrea not
Maybe
wanting to
this
go.
book was one of those like team building exercises between all the ghostwriters, where they each like one person had to write one chapter, then the next person wrote the next chapter, and then the next person like only saw the one chapter and wrote the next chapter. It was like an experiment.
Yeah.
And
Why is this book called The Prophecy?
Yeah.
Is the
Especially
word
because the
prophecy in this
title combined with the
No.
way that this book was described in the blurb on the last book
Yeah.
made me think that like Aldrea's DNA soul whatever is coming into Cassie's body to give her a prophecy. Ooh,
Now
how
I'm glad that
mysterious.
didn't happen. Prophecies are stupid, but there was why is it called this?
When are they gonna bring back the freaking whale?
I feel like someone coming back from the dead is a sort of prophetic event, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but she didn't give him.
No, it's not that by definition. It's definitely
Shouldn't give any prophecies.
So, Mustard,
she gave him a little bit of information,
still
but it was
been-
very concrete information.
have you still been
Well,
keeping
except
up?
where the weapons are.
Have you still been keeping up with like whether or not the books contain the word that's the title in
This
them?
one does not. I just.
So is this the first one in a while that's done that?
Oh, maybe.
Because like I thought you were saying like, oh, dude, every book.
I didn't say everyone.
No,
They
you
just.
said after a certain point. Yeah,
It's-
you did.
it's
You said all
very-
of them.
They're suspiciously shoehorned in my mind in a lot of these
Well,
previous,
definitely
most
not
recent
But not
books.
this one.
Well, maybe it's because this book was written better.
Hawk Rescue Game official instructions. Click the left mouse button to fire maple-flavored oatmeal. Make the enemy
Is
disappear
that like
and
all
earn points.
caps?
Yeah. Replenish your power by grabbing barrels of oatmeal. Keep your keen hawk eyes on the lookout for keys. Grab key. Why are there so many
What are you
keys in
reading? What
these
is
books?
this?
Official instructions for the Animorphs Flash game Hawk Rescue.
Okay, this is not podcast material. What
Grab
we
keys
should end the
with your
episode.
talons by flying directly over them. You'll need
Can you
4
actually play?
keys to release the Animorphs. I
Four
mean, I don't
keys.
really have to find it.
Oh,
While you're
4
playing,
keys.
Oh.
be careful not to move the mouse too much, or you won't be able to control the hawk. If you're firing but no ammo is coming out, you probably need to move your mouse so you're back in the game screen.
Oh, should we read
Oh, that's great.
should we read like the teaser for the next book? I don't really feel like
Yeah, we
reading that
should.
though.
It's like 2 sentences. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like no, like the big like 4-page thing.
Oh, that's here. I want to do that.
Okay, well I don't feel like reading it. We usually take turns with that. And I don't feel like doing that.
Okay, well we can take turns except Mustard.
I don't want to take
The next book-
Yeah, you can just read it.
You guys.
Okay, so we're done with this book.
I
good
don't
book.
really
All right.
want to read it.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
What's the next book called? Does it
The
say?
proposal.
Okay.
Whoa!
They're getting married.
Something is driving Marco insane. Something personal. The stress is so bad that it's affecting his ability to morph. The problem?
Oh no, is this the reaction again?
His dad has been dating.
Oh.
Oh, and
Wait, we already knew that like 30 books they got both in the canon channel.
And now marriage is on the horizon.
yeah. He's stepping it
Marriage
up.
on the Horizon is a pretty big
In
step.
book
Yeah.
in book 21, Marriage on the Horizon. Okay.
But now Marco knows that his mother might still be alive.
Ooh.
But
Oh yeah, so now he's got to prevent that from happening.
But how can he possibly? It's just gonna be like a sitcom book where Marco like goes into the room and like farts, and then the dad's girlfriend is like, was that you?" And like he just tries to break them up. He's just
Hey,
like,
you
"Mushu."
liked it when they did that with Mean Rachel and Nice Rachel, so don't knock
Yeah,
his
I
name
I kind of
for
hope
it.
it's that would be a.
Mushu from Mulan 2.
Yeah.
Based on it being about Marco's mom, I kind of assume that's not going to be the tone because often the books about Marco's mom take a more serious tone.
Mushu from
But that would be a
Games.
very fitting Marco book if it was just very sitcom-y,
Yeah.
like shenanigans.
We'll
That'd
see.
be kind of fun.
I don't remember this book at all.
I
I,
can't-
I remember one scene from this book, so I have no
Nice.
idea. Also, look up the cover. The cover is very silly.
Just Marco Morphin and Poodle.
Or actually, let me just send the cover in the chat.
Shaq walking a poodle.
All right, let's.
Anyway, yeah, okay. You're reading the teaser
preview.
for it.
Don't miss Animorphs number 35, The Proposal. I haven't decided what I'm going to do when or if I survive this war and actually become an adult. But one thing I know for sure, it won't involve working in a restaurant. Ah! Zach screamed, frantically brushing at the cockroaches in his lap.
Ugh.
Ah! A girl in the audience screamed back. Ah! Zach yelled. Ah! Cried a woman in a long red dress. Ah! Within seconds, the room was filled with the sounds of women screaming, chairs
Jeez.
overturning, men yelling, shh.
Bro.
There's
Run.
cockroaches, dude.
Run out of here, Jake. Yeah, dude, no big deal. 5 cockroaches sprung from Zach Hansen's pants and fluttered toward the ground.
They got a boner and they launched.
Watch out for the feet, Cassie cried. Ah! Women and girls screamed.
Jeez.
That horrible noise, Axe cried. Even with this insect's poor hearing, I feel as if my head is going to explode.
Women, am I right?
Women.
It sounds just like a Hansen concert, Tobias said.
That was kind of boring. except
Yeah.
in the-
Why would you put that part in the book?
well, maybe the book sucked.
Yeah, maybe you should have left that out.
Dang.
Alright, joke time.
It's very important to know that women and girls were screaming and men were shushing them, okay? I'm Benatural.
I'm better.
I'm Mustard.
I'm Stir.
Who's knock knock?
Who's there?
Who's knock knock?
Sharon.
Sharing my tortillas with you.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
Sharing my school
test
notes
answers,
with you.
my school notes.
No, it's closer to you.
Really?
Sharing my
Sharing my
food
lunch
at
with
lunch.
you.
It's sharing. It's not. You don't have the second word right, actually.
Sharing your thing with me, please.
Because it's just.
It's Sharon. So, the Sharon is where you go to get a Yeerk in you.
I'm just gonna say it because I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. Sharing your. What's the food? Maybe you guys can discuss the food.
Lunch.
Burger,
Taco,
sandwich,
pizza.
Something you would share.
Apple. Look.
Why are you sharing apples?
Yeah,
That's
we
disgusting.
really share that stuff.
Juice box.
No.
Vegetables.
Sharing your cookies would be a nice thing to do.
Oh,
Why would I
yeah,
share my
well,
cookies?
It'd be nice.
Well,
You just explained it.
Yeah.
A big theme. A big theme. Like a big theme of the series is like you want to like.
Aldrea says we reached a long branch that ran almost level toward the south, toward the valley's end where Deck and I had given birth to Zero. And I wrote, I feel bad for the midwife, hee.
Wait, what? Okay.
Because we had that whole argument about what happens when Hork-Bajir give birth, and does the mom get cut open by the baby's blades?
Insert that clip
No,
here.
they're all small. They're all small and dead.
Yes, I'm like, I assume the nubs aren't very sharp.
Yeah.
But also, you're like, who do you think wouldn't that suck? And we're like, for who? The midwife? Like, you know.
Wouldn't what suck?
Hang on, do you
Giving
not
birth
remember
to a
this?
baby Hork-Bajir.
Oh, because we forgot that
Because we forgot that.
the mom
Well, the
exists.
three of us were being stupid and forgot that the mom exists. Yes.
Here, I'll just play the clip. It's 40
Man,
seconds
that
long.
would suck for that person. Which
Hang on, here.
what person? The
Yeah.
the father.
Hang on.
Let me count
Yeah,
how
the
many
father,
people.
who
The
counts?
father.
Yeah.
Maybe the midwife if he's a guy.
Yeah. If he's a guy.
This guy is really.
Do you think Hork-Bajir give live birth?
Why are you
Yeah.
asking that?
They have all those sharp parts.
They're lizards, aren't they? I mean, like lizardy.
assume the crotch area is sharp.
Okay.
Sharp to the point where...
Thinking about the
You're
baby.
thinking about the baby?
What do you think about that?
Who else is involved here?
The midwife?
What the fuck are you guys on right now?
What,
Who's
sex?
giving birth?
The
Who's
woman.
giving birth? Yeah, you giving birth to
What would be sharp?
to a thing covered in spikes.
Oh. No, I didn't know that.
Proud. No, like a woman giving birth?
I think this all three of us were like, oh.
yeah, I was just thinking about like the baby.
Because then you're like, who's this involved? And then you were like, oh, what, like sex? What is there sex with that?
Would it be hard to put on a condom? Is there another
With a
penis
really
spines?
sharp penis. I'm sorry, women.
I'm
Listen,
sorry.
I'm
Sorry, women.
I just didn't think that the baby would be spiny too. Is
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're probably
the
like,
crotch
no.
would be